should notify you again right now. Now here we go. And what's up with that? No music. So that definitely worked.
Okay, now it reset. Okay, you're on air. Thanks, Jack.
Jack Sink. It's the moon, man.
Yeah.
Both of the moons are totally messing with us.
8-Bits Operator's music.
Oh, did you hear anything from her? I'm gonna go grab more kratom.
Okay.
Kratom down near Caleb.
Hopefully that was the only technical difficulties we're having
See,
today.
if you let it dry out, it's just a beautiful patina.
Nice patina.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. We're glad you guys could make it. Oh, thank you. Yes, it's even going to get better than this. Definitely only warming up. We're gonna be on fire tonight. Drinking caffeine. Waiting for more folks to join us a little bit here. Enjoying the music of Adam Lore. Hey Sean, what is this album called?
The playlist is the quintessential. I mean, the essential.
The essential Adam Lore.
Yeah, it's the playlist. This is a random selection of Adam Lore songs, so it's not an album. There are lots of Adam Lore albums, but I doubt they're published. There's not very many published in their entirety on the internet. But this is a playlist I made called The Essential Adam Lore.
Oh, nice. Is it on your?
Yeah, if you go to my channel and go to playlists, it's in the list. Excellent so far. And you're only warming up. We're freezing, actually.
Yeah, it's getting cold out there.
Wait till you guys hear about the sheetrock lawyers.
Oh yeah, it's pretty exciting.
They call me Mango Jr. Mango Jr. They call me Mango Jr.
Anybody needs a sheetrock lawyer?
Oh, we need to.
Mango Juniors for hire.
Oh, Facebook tricking me with some other random person named Tracy commenting on Facebook. Get out of here, Tracy Carrot. request to Tracy at Quintessential Publications. We are live now, but we are still letting the memes roll. Period. Is that the right email address? Question. No, yeah, you can't. Unfortunately, you cannot yet purchase Adam Lohr's music at Walgreens or Rite Aid or Walmart or Kmart. But hopefully, we'll at least be able to get it up on something like the Apple Store. You know, if before the end of next year, I could get some of my own music and some of Adam Lohr's stuff. Oh, Jack, find Adam M. Lohr on Facebook and go follow it because he's publishing some new comics that he drew about an awesome character called Birdmouth. It's about a pickle pie and the mystery of the pickle pie. And I'll talk about that more later, but because I know you're on Facebook, check out Adam M. Lohr. That's different than just Adam Lohr because that's his account that he uses specifically for art. Of course, anyone else too, but Jack is being bold and actually talking to us in the comments.
Don't look at the particle target now. Don't look at the particle target then. Don't look at the particle target ever. Or you'll ruin the experiment. Don't look at the particle target now. Don't look at the particle target then. Don't look at the particle target ever. Or you'll ruin the experiment. Maybe they'll find a Higgs boson. Maybe they'll find a new laptop.
I just ripped the door off the hinges by mistake. Oops.
That's the kind of show it's going to be. Oh, here we go. We might be getting some Twyman action before we even go live.
Alright.
Isn't there a middle ground? Oh yeah, you probably have it. There it is. I need a slider.
Turn
Okay,
this
so
down.
I just tried a new email address. I guess we could just transition in here. Should we just come on?
Maybe we should just come on the show here.
Well, if we do that, then let's go here. Yeah, look at this camera up here is acting funny, huh?
It's that full moon, I tell you. Let's see.
Maybe they'll make a giant jack sinkhole.
Yeah, that door was always broken. A little bit.
That made me excited. Alright, I guess here we go. There it is. All right, we got audio again. We should.
All right, let's see.
There it is.
Yep.
All right, we got audio again. We should.
Good. Audio's back. What happened? Was it unplugged?
I don't know. I unplugged it and plugged it back in, but I didn't seem like it was unplugged.
What is going on? My Trump soundboard plugged in, I think.
The problem is, the moon is attacking, and we are not Artemis. We are inexperienced at hunting the moon.
Yeah.
So I was kind of trying to keep this up just in case it suddenly says, "Hey, hey, kids, rock and roll." So I don't know. I feel like we're just kind of hanging. I can see Jack is talking to us there. Oh, here
Let's
we go.
see.
Welcome back. Thank you. More full moon problems.
Yeah.
Audio went off. Throw us into the vortex, whirlwind god. We can take it. If you guys could have seen the look on the side of Jim's face when I said that, like, really? It's already going stupid, Sean.
Yeah. Don't tempt the fates.
You're gonna beg God to throw us into the vortex whirlwind?
Yeah.
My answer is all hell yeah. All right. Well, while we're waiting to see if maybe I'll send one more. Just to barrage this poor special guest. You know, that's what that special guest. That's what that means. Like, you're screwed. Here comes 10 million emails. Okay. See that hard? Wait, that's not on the
No,
screen.
you probably shouldn't do that
I'm
on
not
the
gonna say
screen.
that. Oh, it's not. That's only on this screen, right?
Yeah, I think so.
We are safe.
Okay, good. Yeah, keep that.
And don't spell it out loud. T. Oh, maybe that's what I did. Let's double check. Oh no, it popped up last time just like that.
There it is.
Okay, and zinger. So there's one more. So, well.
All right.
Oh, I thought this. I'm confused. I'm confused, you guys. I guess I'm just gonna use this. Use this as my vague
Well,
reference here.
I think you can
There's 3 people here.
hit play.
Oh wait, there's 3 people.
Yeah,
That's the case.
we're all
isn't it?
here. I think so.
Like you said, it's full. It's full house again.
It is a full house.
Wow. The moon's in my full house.
Hey, I think actually, the moon is in
Where is
is
the
in
moon?
Libra today.
Oh, I get it. Not really, guys. I'm just pretending to be well informed when I'm not. I was gonna say.
Or maybe that's the
something.
sun. The sun was in Libra. I don't know what the moon is in.
Let's look.
That's a good idea.
Let's
Let's
just
check
ask.
it out.
We better change to share cam over here too.
You're not really getting picked up with your mic there.
Oh, well, that's because
Did you forget about it?
I know there's a mic right there.
Usually you're right on top of the microphone.
Yeah. Not really feeling it, man. Sometimes even SB Algae phones it in.
Don't phone it in, SB.
Ring, ring, ring. Hello, this is SB. I'm a non-player character this week. I would say forgive me, but I don't know what for because it's not part of the script.
There was a script?
Everything's scripted.
I don't think I got the script.
Okay, what?
What house is the moon in?
Are we screen sharing? Or I mean,
Not yet.
that's a good idea though.
What? Oh yeah. Thanks, pop up.
Nice. I love those.
Okay,
Is it an advertisement,
okay.
huh?
We're going to go to share the commentary and
Welcome to the show. If you just tuned in,
gonna change the media exam cam to yeah, I guess to your iPad.
right now we're checking out
Did
what house the moon is in today. If you just joined us.
that work? Did that work? Okay, it worked. Did that work? Sean, stop it. Alright. And pop it on over there. Sign in. No. Stop. We should be signed in. I don't think we could be doing any of this if we weren't signed in.
Yeah, you're signed in.
No, I'll pass on the security checkup. Thanks.
Yeah,
This week in astrology, cafe astrology. Being that it kind of fits with the numerology, let's go ahead and check in on some astrology from the astral plane.
those astrals.
Trolling your ass. Please don't stop the music. How do we do this? I remember when I was better at this.
Yeah, what happened? We took a week off and it all falls apart.
Yeah. I'm one of those guys that's always hoping to get fired and it just never happens, man.
Well, you can always hope, I guess.
Well, not fired from my job. Fired from real life.
Oh,
That's
that'd
it,
be
Sean.
awesome.
Just sit down, we're gonna do everything, you don't move. Just like
just don't come in today.
however much battery's left on your phone, use that until it's dead.
We
and then
decided to go
take a
another
nap.
direction.
Yeah. Show's not canceled, but we're not really gonna do it either. Alright, 21st through the 27th. This week's moon phase. Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
First quarter moon.
First quarter moon. Full moon occurs on Wednesday, October 24th.
That's today.
Yeah, so there we go. Let's read this. Since it's Wacky Moon.
Oh, it's a sign of
It's
Taurus.
Wacky Moon Wednesday.
Wacky moon.
Are you a
Wednesday.
Taurus?
I'm a Taurus.
I'm a
yes.
Scorpio. On Wednesday, the full moon occurs in the sign of Taurus. Full moons always pit opposite signs of the zodiac against each other. But
Well, that's
also,
us. We're opposite signs of the zodiac.
Are we?
Yeah.
But we're also get along though. Like some of my closest friends in my life have been Tauruses.
Well, the night's young.
And it's no small irony to me that a lot of the women that I enjoy the company of coincidentally are Cancer. Oh,
Yeah,
weird.
that can happen.
Okay, so full moon always pit opposite sides of the zodiac against each other, but also invite us to work to achieve a balance between the opposing energies. The contrast between earthly, practical, peace-loving Taurus and emotional, transformative, crisis-oriented Scorpio. Whoa. Maybe break something talking like that. Comes full bloom today. The moon in Taurus wants us to find emotional fulfillment through the simple, tangible things in life, while the Scorpio's sun draws our attention to complexities, intangibilities, and mysteries. The full moon illuminates this conflict between form, Taurus, and transformation, Scorpio. It's almost like it said, dissolve, coagulate.
Almost.
Oh, maybe we're getting a message here. Let's see. Sorry, I haven't seen the email yet. Okay, well, I sent another one. Was there another way to send an invite? Do you remember?
I don't know. I usually just get the invites.
Oh, let's pop over here and try one more time. We are in a hangout. I mean, it's up there, right?
Jack V says, as an ex-performer musician, I'd say what you guys are doing now is one long-ass live sound check. But we
Jack's
love
on
it.
to us.
LOL.
Yeah, hey, he figured out the actual script of the show. Let's do a weekly 3-hour sound
3-hour
check.
sound check.
Sound check is at 5 p.m. So let's try this again here.
Maybe you should invite her in all of her emails.
No, she gave me a specific one.
Oh, okay.
That's the one.
Nice.
Trying again. Hopefully we'll make this work. We could always call and put the speaker on.
It's not ideal.
It'd make it more like Art Bell though. Like,
I don't think I have a landline though.
no, I mean we could
Yes.
call like
Yeah. Oh, I know.
live.
That was a joke.
A landline.
That was need a landline.
We need a landline.
with a rattly phone cable.
Right.
Click, click,
Well, let's
click,
keep reading about the mean while we continue to try and. I mean, I guess we could dump this hangout and do one more, but let's not do that yet. Let's. So, we were down here. Form and transformation. Taurus. The form. So, I guess to me that would be Scorpio dissolve, Taurus coagulate, huh? Because it's saying Scorpio wants you to transform.
Taurus. Yeah, Taurus would be coagula.
And between collecting, Taurus, and sharing, Scorpio, this is a passionate and creative full moon, ripe with possibilities and learning experiences. Intimate relationship.
Does that mean I'm passionate and you're creative?
Yeah, I felt like the whole day at work was kind of that way. You were serious, trying to get things done, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm going to dance to the music. And you were like, stop procrastinating for once, Sean. Might be the only time you've ever told me get to work.
Yeah.
Just having a hard time. Alright, so. Intimate relationship matters such as personal comfort levels and values as well as sexuality figure prominently now. The full moon is a time of culmination and the promise of fulfillment of that which was started at the new moon. It is an emotional time, a time of romance, fertilization, and relationships. The sun aligns with retrograde Venus and the moon with Uranus around the time of the full moon, and there can be a strong urge or need to break free from old patterns in our relationships. Our feelings about a lingering problem or matter can become very clear now. Okay? Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, that's a pretty
There's-
graphic.
There's the chart. Interesting. So that's the chart of the full moon we are all experiencing
1,
now.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, they're all there.
And I'm gonna dump this hangout and try one more time here. Let's dump it. Bye hangout. And let's go here. Let's refresh this just to be redundant. Oh, and I got an idea here. Let's
This is weird.
well,
It's not working.
this is what full moons are all about, right? Contacts. Let's see if we can if I can now wait, hold on.
Did you,
We don't want to do that. Yeah, let's change back to this.
Why don't you invite me in it also, and I'll see if it shows up on my phone.
Okay. I'll go ahead and well hold on. I was gonna try and add someone here first. Let's see. New conversation. Okay, so let's go here. We'll go
Are you sure that you
yeah, I'm
typed it
positive.
in correctly?
I am, yeah, because it pops up. And I want to make sure that
Are
I'm
you
not
sure that it was
publishing
correct?
this to the world. Yeah,
As in,
not that one.
is there an R in it?
Nope. Okay. So let's try it that way. So there, I sent a new invitation. So hopefully that'll come through. I don't know if our special guest is watching, but here we're going to start a new hangout, and let's try and add this awesome character I know. His name is Jem.
Right here, yeah.
There he is. That is weird that our Gmails are 33 and 23.
Yeah.
All right, so there's that, and that should work. Now if that doesn't work, it's going to be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Well, I got an invite here. All my stuff's going off. I'm gonna decline it.
Okay.
Decline.
So, in our bench test.
That's. I gotta decline on all my machines here.
Alright. So just for fun, let's go over here and see. Invitation sent. This week in astrology. Well, let's do this too. What if we go to the World Numerology website? Let's see it. I wonder if we just go to that same site that we use, you and I both
Numerology.
use, and just see if it gives us any daily update there too. We go. All right, this is Deco's World Numerology. I actually paid for a 1-year subscription to the expanded information, and it's very, I'd say it's worth it. It's only like $45, and you get a whole bunch of stuff to mess with and read about, and beautiful colored charts, and you know, not charts like they mail you in the mail or anything, just in your email. You'd have to print them yourself, but they're very nice. I was glancing here to see if maybe free numerology, your daily number forecast.
You have to type in stuff. Set your profile up, I would imagine.
Well, and let's just do today anyway. Let's do. See, it's gonna prompt us for names if we do this, right?
Your first name. Should we do RX only picture show?
Yeah, let's do that. Or is it RX only? Is our first name RX only and our last name picture show?
Is it?
Oh, no,
RX?
if he wants our date of birth, it's April 1st.
Yeah, April 1st.
This year, right?
Yeah, 18.
We're not very old. Way down here.
It only goes to 2008, I guess.
Oh no. Hmm.
What a jip.
Well, let's go to 1918 then. We'll pretend it happened 100 years ago. You okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Right. What's the numerology of this show?
Maybe we
Oh,
should make
hello, RX only. Today's numbers are. It only feels random. A 5-day.
it.
Hello, RX only. Today's numbers are 5, 32, 8, and 3. The 5 based on 32 can bring a few ups and downs in the form of unexpected changes and what can feel like random events. It's not accurate so far. Not like we canceled and then immediately got a different guest, and it hasn't panned out. On the plus side, it helps you to be more adaptable, quick-witted, and mentally sharp. If only that were true. These are the essential attributes needed to take advantage of today's dynamic energy and potential for opportunity. Stay flexible and ready to act. I am. Your social skills and the ability to promote yourself. Hi everyone, I'm Sean. This is Jem. We are RX Only Picture Show. Should only be heightened. This number sequence is great for people in sales and other fields where interacting with others is a must. Today's combination can make you a little accident prone, so pay extra attention to your surroundings. I'm glad we didn't break anything or moving valuable things.
I broke a door just a few minutes ago. Walking through the door.
All right, well, you know, I'd say that's pretty awesome. And that would make us 100 years old.
Yeah. Interesting. So,
I'll just tell this. I've tried a few different times, period. We could try for a different platform if you have one installed, question mark. We could try for a different platform if you have one installed, question mark.
it's not working, huh?
No, not
You sure you have the email address?
I quadruple checked. And it pops up. Because
Yeah.
that's what it's confirming it.
Unless maybe you typed it in wrong or something and then it's confirming the wrong.
Nope.
Doesn't do that. It happens with me. My autocorrect. If I misspell something.
No, I mean I did that because
force it.
I'm the same way. I went back and looked. So
Hope it's not that info prison thing. Situation.
Yeah, well, you never know. That kind of stuff is, So, let's see. Oh yeah, I remember that comment. As an ex-performer, etc., etc. Alright, let's fade to black. What should we do? You want me to play a song? I know it's that would be out of character for this hour, but what should we do? Should we talk about bombs?
We could talk about bombs.
So like now we're in the waiting room. Like in the hopeful waiting room.
The anxious waiting room. Huh.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show if you're
Well, let's. I know what we can
joining
do.
us.
I will read an article by a guy I really enjoy his work. His name's Russ Winter. If that's okay with you.
Yeah, I've never heard of him.
Russ
Who's
Winter.
this Russ Winter.
Well, he changed the name of his website. It was the New Nationalist, and he felt like the word nationalist. This was before Trump recently said nationalist in one of his speeches, making everyone like shart themselves and be like, "We told you he was a Nazi." And I don't blame them. You know, I personally am. Well, I'm neutral on everything. I understand. If I had to choose, nationalism is better than globalism.
Yeah.
But I'd say it's also a silly trap. Like, well, you better love France or else. Sounds like a.
French fries are delicious.
Sounds like we're not going to get a lot of support because there's only one France. That's what it sounds like to me. So let's transition back and we'll go to Winter Watch and read the bomb article.
Jack V says, nothing's really perfectly working. That's what we like about this show. And then he said, Rust Winter, a Northern Cars Blues. That's funny, Rust Winter.
That's great. Rust Winter.
Salty Streets.
Look at this. Oh
Rust
yeah, I
Winter.
forgot. This is how you know someone's pretty good. Because you go try to like use Google to find him, and Google's like, you mean all of these other things called Winter Watch?
Oh yeah. The great divert.
See if it'll. Oh, how strange! It's still dumping us. Well, come on now. Since this afternoon, they couldn't have pulled Russ Winter down. You know that's not true, Sean. Yes, they could have. So Russ Winter, New Nationalist. There we go. Yeah, winterwatch.net. Okay, I'll remember that. So I enjoy Russ Winter because he's kind of like a boomer old guy, but he talks about how he used to be asleep and now he's awake. And he did some amazing interviews about Sabbaty Zevi, the Sabbatean Frankists and all that stuff. So
Well, that's a great meme. Your false flags don't work anymore. We are awake.
Yep, and that's what I came to read.
Eyeball staring back.
Bombs in the mail, another stupid hoax and deception. So let's go ahead and promote and encourage people to take a look at Winter Watch. Now, I think you should take a look at everything that interests you and distill it all down into something like the beginning of a fragmented opinion. And in 2018, you just get to do that and continue to do it, and you never get to form a complete opinion of anything because they dump so much information on you now that the idea that you can be like, well, I'm going to compare what Tracy wrote to what Russ wrote to what I saw on CNN. Think about it while I take a hot bath. Now I think I kind of know what I... Nope, you don't get to do that in 2018. They're just like, hey, we got some all variety of news articles and media. And they just keep that up. And then they pause, and all the bullets are still in the air, and they come over and they pluck a bunch of them out of the air and they put them in your ears. One up your nose. Ooh. And when you notice, they say, there's no such thing as bullets. Something like that, right, Jim?
Well,
Not a perfect analogy, but... Alright.
you can't really see bullets unless you have one of those time-lapse cameras. Or not time-lapse.
I thought like Elon Musk said, you need a
strobe light to see
Oh, that'd be cool to get a machine gun and a
drones
strobe light.
in the future. That would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, that quote's great. If you guys never saw that quote where Elon Musk, Jim pointed it out to me, Elon Musk said, hey, these robots that you see dancing and jumping on boxes and stuff, pretty soon they're going to be so fast you'll need a strobe light to see them. Just
Yeah,
think
that's
about
scary.
that, folks. That's scary.
That's scary.
Oh, my telephone just sent me a reminder to take drugs.
Uh-oh.
Well, I've got dental work next week, so I have to take these antibiotics.
Well, that's a good idea. Better take all of them, you know?
I'm gonna.
You don't want to create a super virus.
Globalist bugs in my belly.
Globalist bugs.
All right, so October 24th, 2018, bombs in the mail, another stupid hoax and deception. So here's Russ Winter speculating on all this wonderful bomb news we got that a whole bunch of left-leaning politicians and even George Soros himself received bombs near their houses, but as far as I've read or heard as of today, at this time, nothing actually blew up. So, and so the Lugan Presse, I wonder what that means. That must be the yellow press, I'll bet. I'm guessing. The Lugan Press is reporting that bombs were mailed to various Democrat mucky mucks today. But real bombs
Mucky muck.
don't have giant, stupid beeping clocks on them. Instead, they just use a cell phone to call a receiver, or use a real timer, or a motion-activated fuse. Now, there's the thought. Real bombs often go off. None of these did. There's a 13-ounce weight limit for stamped mail, specifically to prevent things like this. Bombs. Oh, that's there's a typo there. Maybe there's not supposed to be a period there. There's a 13-ounce weight limit for stamped mail, specifically to prevent things like this. Bombs went into effect after the Unabomber. This has 6 50-cent stamps, which means $3 in postage, but a 13-ounce package for reference, even if it was that light, which I doubt, mailed at $6.55 that is.
That's...
And it appears none of the stamps are canceled. So he's saying, hey folks, there's all kinds of red flags about this supposedly...
hoaxy, huh?
Yeah,
Sounds
yeah.
hoaxy.
Yeah, 655. For the 650-cent stamps, 655, 13, 3. Every mail package is x-rayed and scanned / recorded. How could all of these packages reach the intended destination on the same day? There you go, Jim. There's the bomb.
Is that a pipe bomb? It looks like a pipe bomb, huh? With the cell phone strapped to it.
And it says, to John Brennan, Time Warner, CNN, 10 Columbus Circle, New York, New York.
They should have printed it with those kidnapper magazine fonts. I really like those.
Oh, here she's giving me one more here. Oh, cool. So here in just a second, we'll read this article and then we'll bust out some Skype here.
All
See
right.
if that works instead.
Should we download Skype?
yeah, let's get that started, and we'll continue reading here. So, well, here, let's switch us back here so people don't have to watch us down on Skype. Hi, everybody.
No, you just switched back to Skype.
Oh man, I didn't have us on the article this whole time. I'm a lame ass, you guys. I'm
Full moon, huh?
I'm not phoning it in. I'm actually screwing this up. Phoning it in would be me doing fine, but not very motivated. This is like
That's what they love about the show.
one hop off. That's what Jack 5.
Jack 5.
For desktop, please. Kids cap. for
Wearables.
Mac.
Is that a Google Glass?
All right, here it comes. Cool. So let's.
Did you? Are you downloading it?
Yeah,
Or,
it's downloading right there. See it?
Oh, I see it.
All right, so let's transition back one more time, and we'll continue reading about. There's a 13-ounce weight limit for stamped mail. That's where we were, right? Here's the bomb. Here's the address. Here's the 6 non. These stamps aren't even like
X'd out.
Yeah, like come on.
Let's steam those off and reuse that postage.
Uh-huh.
That's what I
Who
try
stands unprotected next to a bomb and takes photos? How come the media has a picture of the device and have clues and answers before police?
to do. Is that maybe there was tape over it?
This guy's a nutty conspiracy theorist, that Russ Winter. I can't believe he would doubt the media and expect the police to do
What?
anything.
Oh.
Did CNN even give him permission to talk about this? Bomb disposal expert calls hoax. Now maybe we'll, once we get Skype rolling a little farther, maybe we'll come back and click on that. This isn't very long.
Time Warner and then CNN in brackets.
I mean, I saw this on Twitter. This is a thread of a bomb expert being like, hey guys, that's not what bombs look like.
You think Time Warner sent it to themselves?
I don't know. The whole thing just looks. I think this. I'll give you my quick rundown on all the false flag stuff because it's become so crappy, right?
Yeah, they're
Like 9/11 was okay at least. It took us a while to be like, oh crap, that's not right.
I've never heard anybody say that before.
Well, you know what I mean, right? I mean, as far as presentation of, hey, it's supposed to be Arabs with box cutters. Turns out you look a little closer and it's like, wait,
Yeah,
maybe
they
not.
fooled a lot of people for a lot of whiles.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's us attacking ourselves. Maybe it's Israel, Britain, and the United States completing a 100-year satanic ritual. I don't know. Maybe it's Sabbatean Frankism. Maybe it's, the Baphomet. But yeah, so then you get farther along, and it starts to like the Boston Marathon. Like, whoa, that doesn't even look close to me. The stuff that I saw, like the guy obviously was already had his leg missing, and they just kind of half doctored him up like kids in a hurry to finish their high school video project, and on and on. The shooting outside the homosexual nightclub, whatever it was. Like, there's actually video footage of them carrying people in an emergency, and then a guy who went and parallel edited that to Google Maps, and they're carrying them back to the scene.
Yeah, I saw that. That's crazy.
And it doesn't look very good. The Vegas shooting, Jim and I went over that at one time. If you never watched, there's some really trippy, stupid evidence of the Vegas shooting simply never happening. There's this weird, it's like drill. They're all drills. And this is my theory, to get to my point and not digress. I think that they have the science of what it takes to get the asleep people shook. And they don't need to cater to us that are awake at all.
Yeah.
They just we don't have to make it look beautiful. We know if we just go on the news and be like, ooga booga boom, dunga to bomb.
Yeah.
Then,
it's more visually appealing to carry the injured people this direction instead of this direction.
Or maybe the camera truck just parked on that side of the road and there was traffic. They're like, just do it,
Yeah.
Like Terry Gilliam, this was supposed to be rehearsed. This isn't rehearsed. Just roll camera. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's my theory, is that they don't need to anymore. They used to put, I mean, everyone's done this at their job at one point or another. Like one day you do phone it in and you're like, screw it, I'm just going to finish this right now. I'm not going to do all the little details I usually do. And no one ever says anything.
Yeah.
So then one day and you're feeling kind of grumpy, you're like, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to mail it in. Whatever. Here you go. Here's my crappiest work yet. Gadoosh. And still no one says nothing. And so 3 years later, you're like, gadoosh, gadoosh, gadoosh.
Let's cut this stuff out. Yeah.
Yeah. So this article's not very long. Let's get to the bottom and we'll unload the Skypers. So, bomber intentionally misspelled words in attempt to pass themselves off as the left wing's stereotype of a low IQ right wing crazy. So he's saying the bombers like used poor spelling and grammar on purpose. Bomber knew the narrative would immediately become crazy right-wing bomber. Standard neurolinguistic programming, ISIS fake sticker on bomb. What?
Oh, they misspelled Time Warner.
Yeah, that might be more than...
W-E-R-N-E-R.
Yeah, that might be more than just a... No, it says Warner.
Well, isn't... How do you spell Time Warner? I thought...
Oh, is it Werner? Yeah, you're right, it is.
I think it is. Time Warner.
That's funny, though, because Time Warner spelled
Oh, it
this...
is. W-A-R-N-E-R.
So, maybe his name's spelled wrong? Columbus. Is that supposed to be an O? No.
Let's try.
But yeah, check out the ISIS sticker on the bottom of the bomb there.
Columbus. C-O-L-U-M-B-U-S. They put an ISIS sticker on the bomb.
Tip, never make your bomb packaging look like a postal bomb. Alright, so that's the whole article.
Yeah, somebody's mailing flashlights to Time Warner.
Alright, so let's get that rolling. Close and accept. Well, I hope I closed and accepted the right thing there. Alright, well let's go ahead and bail on our hangout here.
What did you close and accept?
I thought it was the Skipe installe. Okay. That was scary.
Yeah, that was a cat jumping into a box.
Okay, so let's transition back here. Hi everyone, here we are back. We're really pulling this off big here. Oh, here we go, opening Skype. So it's trying.
All right, let's do this Skype thing.
Hope our special guest slams a couple more beers because that'll make it fun. All right.
We got some comments. Bujahadeen says Acme on the back of the envelope gives it away. And then Jack V says, yes, our man, they do. And they've got devices, gizmos, and psychology techniques as well. That's true.
Oh, yeah, they've got it. I mean, if you studied big time advertising, you know how refined they can make something with just data. If you give them enough data points, they can predict at what age you're gonna buy what color car, and what girl at what age you're gonna marry after you get her with the car. You know, they have all this stuff like mapped out in a super scary way. Okay, so here's me trying to open Skype. Hey, hand me that.
You want this?
Yeah.
Here you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Scratch, the new guy. There he is.
There he is.
He's bird. Alright. Let's keep Skyping.
He's kind of scratchy, kind of bitey.
Skype is an application download from the internet. You sure you want to open it? Yeah, I want to open it.
Open.
On my computer.
I think you're supposed to drag it into the applications folder.
Is that what he's telling you? I don't. You. Okay. Sign in. Let's see if I can sign in. Oh man, I wonder what email address is my Skype account.
Uh-oh.
Let's make sure we're not on the screen here. Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Can you use Skype? Email phone or Skype. Oh, well, if it's Microsoft, it should be this one.
I think the cat likes to be on the air. He was there the last time when we did the.
He did. Scratch and you guys been coming around, huh?
Been coming around. Oh. No.
Oh no. You see what it said to me?
Yeah, you've tried to sign in too many times with an incorrect password. Oh man.
Oh, you gotta turn the speakers back on for me because I couldn't read that. Please. Oh, sorry, Scratch.
Okay, I think the speakers. On.
Each. Mouth.
What?
What did it say?
I don't know. Try that. I'm gonna turn
Try
it
this
up.
again. All right, so now you can all share our pain because we've all been through this, right? Like, oh,
Oh, it
man,
sucks.
what's my password? Oh, I typed it wrong. And Skype's like, full
Kicked
moon.
out.
Full moon, bitches.
Full moon.
All right, let's see.
Decide.
What?
Prepare.
Tampoco.
Work.
7.
Process.
Próximo.
Spell.
Odiar.
Each.
Llorar.
Mouth.
Soy.
Are you
What?
supposed to just be sending the...
I-
Go back to the picture here.
Yeah.
Is it WK? W
Yeah.
K P V
K.
KYXN, right?
Is that an X or a plus? No, there's a J.
What is that?
JV. Yeah. They
Tracy-
make it so hard.
Tracy can't log into Skype.
Oh no.
This is great.
I think we've been info jailed.
I am ready to give up, she says. Yes, we understand! Exclamation point.
Maybe we could do a telephone.
I'm here live trying to log into Skype unsuccessfully myself, period.
Speakerphone, perhaps?
I can call and put you on speakerphone for a real short clip if you'd like, question mark. Let's see what she says.
Ah, technology.
I want to hear what she's like. She accidentally, like, I gotta write an article about this.
Yeah.
I wrote a book.
She accidentally wrote a book.
I'm curious. So I think we're gonna give up on Skype here anyway, because I don't think if she can't get in, then we're just.
Yeah, there's
Giving
no
up
point
on
in
this.
putting the Skype in if she's
So this might
kicked
be
out.
I should tell her. If not, it's okay, comma. We can always schedule some other time. Period.
Dang, it's gotta be frustrating to be in the.
Yeah, it makes me wonder. It really does make me wonder if they're not just messing with this.
I think that they are.
So how many things? What? What do you mean it did?
OBS quit.
Oh no, that means it's gonna dump us.
Yeah, we're froze. No,
Are we on here or not? You just went
so
like
many
this,
tech.
too. You looked at your phone and went, look.
Well, I'm moving my.
No, I know, it's really fun. So live stream health isn't very good. We've got
Jack
5.
V says it's the best show ever.
Thank
so
you.
many
thank you.
technicals.
Yeah, that's what.
Freaking full moon. Full moon
Yeah,
awareness.
that's all good. We're 54 minutes and 52, 53, 54, 55 seconds in, and this is nutty balls. Crazy
Yeah.
cakes.
Crazy.
Silly
cakes.
times. Now I wait with bated breath. What will she say?
I-
Will she let me call her and push the speaker button, or is it another? What will she say? Will she let me call her and push the speaker button, or is it another? see why people like this.
Well, I like it, but
Well, while we wait, let's go back to this.
Jesus Campos. Oh, there's a
we
link.
should probably put it on
Oh yeah, we need to transition
commentary
this out.
view
All right.
there.
So
There you go.
let's go back over here. There was a link. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you guys the bomb disposal expert calls it a hoax. So
Tom Sauer.
Tom Sauer. Oh, somebody has imager captured. I read these tweets on Twitter, so I don't have any doubt that these were real tweets. So Tom Sauer, Thomas B. Sauer, at Thomas B. Sauer on Twitter, thread. A few observations from a former bomb disposal officer, i.e.
I'm Gerd.
me. Proper pipe bombs don't have wires connected to both ends. That's dumb. You can find timers, remote control receivers way smaller than whatever that white box is. A proper timer would best be stored inside the pipe, making it fully encapsulated. That thing is just silly looking. Sit down.
Yeah, it's pretty much like one of those, like a, sticks of dynamite with a alarm clock taped to it is what it looks like.
So let's go ahead and we'll hold off on this thread because we have permission to. Well, I don't know. We'll finish this, but then we're going to call Tracy Twyman and get an update on her current work, which we have. Us plus Ultra members want to know. Man.
Yeah,
we want
we're-
to know. So let's finish this. Not very long. So
We can come back to it.
I'd rather
Finish
complete
it.
it so that
Complete it.
because we may not,
Nah.
we may not come
Alright.
back to it. So he says it's just silly looking. Hoax devices are far more common than real ones, in which case we should ask ourselves what the motives of the bomber are and who benefits. Go ahead, think deeply and critically. I think Tom Sawyer's got a bit of sarcasm in his tweets here. Bottom line, whoever made that wanted it to be painfully obvious to anyone and everyone that it's a bomb.
Yeah.
This is nearly the same as a bundle of road flares wrapped together with an old-timey alarm clock ticking away.
That's funny.
Awesome. All right, so I'm going to ask Jack Sink and Bouja Hadeen to please comment once we get Tracy on the line and let us know how the audio sounds so that we can try and make adjustments if necessary.
Yeah,
But I'm
thank
going to go
you.
ahead and push the button, and let's go ahead and give a call to Tracy R. Twyman and get an update on her current work.
All right.
My heart is racing now, and I'm not kidding. Do-do-do-do-do.
Hello.
Tracy, this is Sean. Sean and Jen on RX Only Picture Show.
Hey.
Hey, thanks for calling.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Thanks for picking up. I think making the title Full Moon Hijinks or whatever I wrote, I think I hexed us. But so
You hexed it, huh?
well, I mean, I can't. The moon is the moon. Any of us that pay attention to it are definitely aware that it has its influence without any doubt. So.
So what's going on? Look, I mean, seriously, like I've been, writing basically for about a month or so, and I wouldn't even bring up the drugs report. Like I didn't look at anything else because I just wanted to concentrate. And also, I just noticed. I mean, it was easy for me to do because I've just been having for the last couple of weeks internet problems. And then one person told me that ICANN is changing the registration of everything on the whole internet somehow. But that was all going to be over with like a week ago, and it was just going to happen over the weekend, and it would cause some problems with the whole internet, they said.
Well,
But it would only last a weekend, and I don't know, for me it's been lasting longer. So
yeah, I've definitely seen some silly stuff. I didn't hear about the ICANN thing, but I know that more than one account that I follow or little news clips about first all of YouTube went down for a minute, which never happens, and YouTube is consistent. It's not like if you're on Reddit or something, Reddit used to go down all the time, and Facebook glitches out every once in a while. But so I think that we're just seeing the continued unfolding of whatever this knock down lots of accounts operation is. Make it look like they're knocking down lots of alt-right type accounts, but really they're taking all kinds of stuff off the web. I've seen health food and like diet type sites going down, and I've seen people complaining that like their makeup tutorial YouTube accounts have been pulled. So they're doing some kind of a general sweep, and I think they're using AI to do it. I think they're testing how effective their AI is at editing and filtering the internet. So I mean, that would be my guess, but
it must be something like this. Like, what I'm experiencing right now is different than what I was experiencing this summer. Because that was a really targeted attack on me. I feel like this is a broader thing, but that it's just an extension of that. Like, what was happening to me this summer was just sort of a test wave. And it's very subtle. Like, what it is basically what I've been getting used to, I feel, over the last year or so. Websites that aren't YouTube or Facebook or one of the big ones being inaccessible. Like, you'll go there and you're just used to, the website's down, it's not working. And you think, maybe they didn't pay their bill. And you're just kind of, the audience, the public in general, I think, all getting used to the idea that individual and independently owned websites are just going to be going down now, and it's not working out for them, it's not feasible or whatever, and or there's some kind of technical glitch, like a lot of times you'll get a message saying, that website is phishing, or it's doing something to you, it's trying to hack you, it's somehow an unauthorized website, and it might be a website you've done too many times before, and you trust the people, but you're thinking you get this message from your browser or from your antivirus or something. You're thinking, okay, but they've got a problem on their website, and I'm going to avoid it until they work it out.
Yeah,
I've definitely seen that. But
me too. Yeah, because I mean, there's certain sites that might not be very big or popular, but if you've gone to them lots of times, and then all of a sudden they're flagged like, because like Chrome, I don't know if you use Chrome, but Chrome will like make it really hard to even click past the warning.
I have some kind of antivirus going with mine, and it's something I've installed, so it's my fault, but like it will tag the Google ads. So if I click on a link, if I look at something on Google, and then a lot of times the top result will be something Google sponsored, right? And they don't even, I don't even think they even bother to pretend like they have what they used to call organic results anymore. I don't even think they try.
No, me neither.
So it's like, the top result is just an ad. And so when you click on the top result, for me, it goes straight to a blocked page. Because it's like, my antivirus is reacting against their malware advertisement crap that they put on their top result, and so it just gets nonsense. And I could probably adjust something to fix that, so I'll be able to click on it. But it just goes to show how like the whole thing is fucked up. The whole thing is messed up, and it's because like nobody can trust anything anymore. So literally, your computer, or well, in this case mine, but I'm willing to bet I'm not the only one. Like, it won't trust some of the most basic things on the internet, which you think a Google-sponsored web page would be, because because it's just in this case, my antivirus has been to say that's it's trying to do something bad to you, and it is trying to do something bad to you, so it's not wrong.
Yeah.
It's like, there's no way to get around this anymore,
Yeah, it's like, that's pretty crazy what you're saying, Tracy, that like having your antivirus installed and set to a higher limit causes your browser causes your computer to be wary and scared of the top results that Google is actually pushing through paid advertising. It's like, yeah, that's, and I agree that I see it all over the place, that pretty much what I think they're doing is making it so that they're serving us information, and only what they serve us is what they want us to have, and everything else is just, for now, it's become a question mark. It started to become that they're knocking it down, like with Alex Jones and similar stuff, and I think that's what they're moving towards, kind of feeding us all back towards what they enjoyed with the mainstream media. That's the way I see it. Like they had to do this huge U-turn and allow us all to have freedom of information on the internet. And so what they want, though, is to steer us back to just having something like regular media. You know, they want us watching CBS, ABC, NBC, and Fox, and that's it, you know.
Yeah.
Because I remember that's the way it used to be. You know, that's the only place you would get quote unquote trustworthy information, was from the big 4 or 5 channels. And I mean, if you've been on YouTube for a long time, you remember when YouTube used to be brilliant. Like, you could find all kinds of stuff, and it was amazing. And that's been probably at least 5 years ago since they started to really whittle that down to where there's so much advertising crammed in there. Shows are interrupted every 20 minutes with ads, even if they're not sponsored.
Always in the best spots, too, you know. Right in the middle of the most interesting moment. They're like, and then ad.
Yeah.
I can't even get through like a song anymore without an ad interrupting. So
that's the
I mean,
worst.
something has happened just in the last year where they've made YouTube like unusable completely. So it's for everything from, you can't upload anything, you know, because it's getting tagged. Stuff is getting tagged even in the, you know, in the audio. And I'm not just talking about for right, but also for keywords where it's like, I mean, this was happening a few weeks ago. People weren't believing me, but, you know, people, any of the top producers on YouTube, if they were used to covering controversial content, a lot of them, say for instance Alex Jones even, would start to not use certain words that they knew would be tagged by the robots on YouTube.
Yep.
That would cause the show to be downgraded in the algorithm. So, you know, everyone's like trying to guess what are the words that we're allowed to say. And it's only a really small leap from there to, oh, you know, what are the top words we want to say? I mean, it's so easy to go from a list of prohibited words that you're trying to avoid. And in this case, it's not even a law. It's something that you intuit from what you can tell is coming out from the mainstream about what is allowed and what isn't, or what they think is cool and what isn't. And so, you know, it's bad enough to have censorship, but then it's actually even worse to have not only unspoken censorship, but it's like people immediately start leaping into, well, you know, what should we talk about so that the robots will like what we're saying and they will promote us?
So we're guessing at what speech we're compelled to say. Exactly. They want us to guess what, you know, it's like Big Brother is forcing you into this guessing game of trying to figure out what he wants you to say, and then maybe your voice will be heard if you get it right.
We almost need like a uniform code.
It's like when I was about 10 years old or so, the way of interacting with the media that was a big thrill to me was calling into the radio station to make a request or to answer one of the quizzes they were having or something.
Yeah.
So that you could have your voice heard on the radio show. It's like you have no idea, like, if they're going to pick up the phone, and if they do, if they're going to use you or not. And so it's just as random as that, which it wasn't supposed to be, and the internet isn't that. And exactly, you're saying, you know, they're trying to make the internet like the old media used to be.
Yeah.
Yes, it's even worse than the old media used to be in terms of everybody that you're competing against to get chosen to be the thing that the robots decided that is going to be cool. And you don't even have the human element anymore to work with in terms of trying to make an impression.
Yeah, you're not even calling the DJ. Now you're calling the ghost in the machine.
Yeah, and you're not even. It's like they're choosing after the fact. Yeah, you leave your little token, and they'll decide whether they're going to do something or with your name. There's just no way of knowing it. So it's like, obviously the impact of this in terms of human effort is going to be, people are going to make less effort. If they have no way of telling whether or not the effort that they make is going to result in some kind of remuneration or reaction or anything, then they're not going to make the effort. And that's the goal.
Because that's what we all did. Because I used to call the radio stations all the time too. And, after about 400 phone calls over the course of a week, you start to give up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, we hope. I mean, that's what's funny is, like, actually now people's patience for that is so much lower. Like, I'm sure, if I had a show like that, I tried to get people to call in, it just wouldn't be the same, man. It's like they've changed it, because it used to be that you could, if you had a camera, if you went to a store and bought a video camera, you took that same video camera and just dragged it through the streets of any neighborhood and claimed that you had a show, everybody would just walk in front of you and start hamming it up, to want to be on your show.
Yep.
And that doesn't happen anymore, I can guarantee you, but they've changed it, so the media isn't a commodity anymore. Exposure really isn't a commodity. I mean, they're controlling it, but nobody cares either.
Yeah.
And the point is just to make it nothing. There's no value in communication whatsoever at this point, or that's what they're getting to.
Yeah, here in Walla Walla, where we are, Adam West was born here. And so about a month ago or 3 weeks ago, me and Jim went live with our phones and went and covered Adam West Day because they have a big, like a big thing going on where they're showing a documentary about his life. They had the Batcopter here and the Batmobile, and they had a small sculpture that they're going to probably put up somewhere in town, and they had famous people coming and speaking, and his family was here. And so we went down there with our phones live and did the show on location, and most of the people, and I mean, I had my phone on a selfie stick, so it was pretty obvious. I didn't have like lights and a boom mic, but it was still pretty obvious that we were definitely media, and I warned people if they were standing close to me, but people were essentially unfazed.
Yeah.
Some people would kind of turn away, but nobody was like, "Oh, cool, you're live," and like trying to get any attention. They're just oblivious. They don't care,
No. No, and I think the mainstream media is annoyed at that. They might be they may be hoping they're going to get some kind of advantage again from the changes that are happening now, but they won't really.
No, I see it like the same that they did with selling songs, like Napster and all that stuff. And they get all their lawyers out, and the media companies just end up dumping hundreds of $1 million into trying to prevent people from sharing digital information. And, of course, it doesn't work. Now everything's free, and nobody cares,
Nobody, honestly, just nobody cares. Here's the thing. I wouldn't know what to do if I was a musician. Thank God I'm not. What would I do with it? What would I do with my finished product? I mean, there's so much music that I've enjoyed that was so great, and it was free, and I didn't deserve it. It came to me, and I enjoyed it. It came and went, and I paid nobody for it, and I didn't deserve that. It's like that's happened recently, but I've also noticed obviously a decline in the quality of things, and really the decline has been in the full-length movies because there's just no motivation for those people to make full productions anymore. And so it's the Hollywood is not the same that it was before the digital, situation, and it's, Napster it didn't help anybody. What you're talking about, the lawsuits against it didn't help anybody. We're at this place now where, like, if I wanted to download an MP3 of something, like, I don't even know where you do that, I rarely find that anymore. I mean, I guess, don't you get, when you go to, like, Pandora and Amazon and whatever the hell people go to now, don't you even get some other kind of proprietary music, like it only works within the website? Basically?
Yeah, it's all just streamed. You're not downloading anything. You're just it's like a crappy radio station, but it's still served on demand, but not really. I don't know very many people that download songs anymore. I mean, some people do. And if I really love a song and it's not easy to steal, I'll go pay $1 for it, no problem. Or, if I've got a job and I've got money, I'll pay $1 for a song. But very few people do. They just go to YouTube. If it's not on YouTube, most people I know just give up. If it's not on YouTube, Pandora, or what's the other one, Spotify, then they just give up.
Well, okay, if they want a particular song, or even weirder, a particular album, what do they do? Is there if you were to buy it, do you get the album or the song, or do you get it stuck in your account on some website?
Well, yeah, that's another common thing, too. Now, some places are smart and they'll sell MP3s, but like the Apple Store, I know the Apple Store, that's all proprietary, locked down. Even if you just buy a new iPhone, there's a huge hassle in whether or not you can get your music off of the old device and onto the new one.
Yeah.
And of course, there's ways around it, but you have to be tech savvy. You have to be tech savvy at least a little bit, and it might be a pain in the butt depending on,
I don't think that's necessarily true. I have some old songs that I bought years ago that popped up on my new phone. So
yours worked okay?
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of albums, like, I think people our age are like the last generation of anyone listening to albums. Like, people younger than me, especially if they're 10 years younger, they don't even understand. It's like they changed everything back to hit singles, and nobody understands, like, listening to... I used to listen to the album Alice in Chains' Dirt over and over again, the whole album. Like, for a year, it was the only thing in my CD player.
Or Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, or the Abbey Road by the Beatles. These kids, the younger
Legend,
people... Yeah.
Bob Marley.
Yeah, but they don't understand.
Well, I watched an interesting thing happen over the last summer and I guess fall. So... there was this band that was being pushed towards me, I guess, because of some algorithm I touched on, so that, on YouTube. So that I just got everything that they had ever done pushed at me, and they were pretty popular, they were getting millions of views, so I'm sure I'm not the only one. Like, they were, and I don't know, it's impossible to tell if this group, at what level are they organically popular, and at what point are they buying, stats on YouTube? But apparently, so the history of this group is that they are so popular on YouTube. Mainly, they got their start on SoundCloud. And what I watched over the summer was this group. Like I said, everything that they had ever done was just like hundreds of songs were being pushed, recommended to me constantly, and I listened to several of them. But all this stuff was available, and then their new album came out a month or two ago, and it was like, all of a sudden YouTube got cleansed of that whole back history for this band. And all this stuff that I had watched before from them, because it was shoved at me, it was recommended, and I watched it, and it was on my history, so I went back to try and look at some of the older stuff, and all of a sudden it was all gone, so they had taken it all off, and now all you can see from this band is the new album this is on YouTube, of course, with the, you know, like every 5 minutes or so, if you were to play it, there's an advertisement.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, there's obviously a strategy here going on where we're going to give you the free stuff, and they're not even giving it to you. They're letting individuals, fans, illegally upload it, and they'll let it get popular. They push it to the fans, to the other fans. And then at a certain point, they're like, okay, we're going to make everybody buy something because we think everybody's hooked. And so they just drop the net, and they make it impossible to get the back catalog, and the only thing you can get is the new thing with the ads in it. It's all, they've got this strategy. I still doubt it's going to work, you know, but because it just seems like this stuff never works. But
Yeah. It's like a drug dealer.
First taste free.
Yeah, it's like a drug dealer. They get you in for free and then on the cheap, and then they're like, oh no, it's way more expensive now, and you buy it and it's all cut to shit and it's bad.
Yeah, well, it's funny. It's like, I get what they're trying to do. It's just, if they weren't being such assholes about it, if there was just a nicer way of doing it, because what's missing for me as the consumer is, okay, what do I do? How do I easily get all the things that I was used to watching before? The stuff you supposedly got hooked on, right? Well, if I were to go and look for this band's stuff, I would probably find, I probably couldn't even buy most of what was available a few months ago for free. And this is what I'm finding, not just with music, but with movies and everything else, is even when you go to what you think is the, you know, the darkest alley to try to find someone trading it, it's not there.
Yep.
You know, you can't buy it, you can't get it on the sly, it's just not there anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like the whole history of the human race is being flipped. I don't like it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a big part of the reason you see all of this diverse information is because they need to muddy the shit out of the water for when they decide to either erase the history or change it completely. So they put doubt in the timeline, they put doubt in the shape of the earth, they put doubt in aliens versus demons, they put doubt in the Mandela effect, and then after they keep a gray area long enough, then they can resolve to something new, you know? Like, oh, well, here's the truth finally. Sorry about all that static, you know? That's what I think they might be trying to do.
It's a new narrative.
Yeah, to change the narrative.
Well, it could be that, like, okay, younger people probably are not as used to, you know, being aggressive about looking for obscure websites and stuff, right? And since this stuff's been going on for a few years now, exactly what we're describing, of things being hidden from you in really surreptitious ways so that you think that the website has a virus on it, or for whatever reason it just doesn't come up. Like a lot of times there'll be something comes up in the search results, and I will try to open that website, but it just takes a long time to open up, and sometimes it never opens up. And I just get distracted because I'm used to, at this point, only waiting for a few seconds for anything. So I just move on, and I really don't even think about, why doesn't that website come up? If it's in the search results, then surely there was a website there and content there just a few days ago, at least, right? And it seems to me like, okay, if this has been going on for a few years, you know, when you start even becoming conscious and reading stuff and becoming aware of the world around you, when you're a teenager, right? And then by the time you're a young adult, you're so busy with your job and everything that you don't even do that anymore. So, you know, the golden years between when you're a teenager and when you're a young adult, when you're actually paying attention to something, that's a whole generation. So that's really only, 5 or 6 years. And it's about as long as I've been noticing websites that should be there not coming up. And I'm thinking at this point, they've taken us used to this. Like, oh, well, the only website that works is YouTube and Facebook. None of the other websites really work because, And they must be thinking like, oh, because the people that run those websites are kooks and they're losers and they can't even afford their $5 a month, to keep their website open. That must be what they're thinking. And how people rationalize themselves the fact that not everybody has a website anymore, and it used to be so freaking normal and easy.
Yeah.
But it's like you don't even see people's stuff anymore, and nobody minds, nobody cares, nobody notices. So I think we're just talking about a few years of people getting used to being cut off from each other, and they're given a lot of excuses for why it's happening, and they don't really notice it.
Yeah, well, and as we move farther past our generation, our age, I'll be 43 in just a couple days. So people younger than me, they're not going to think anything of it because they can't remember when almost everybody had a website, everybody had a blog, everybody had all kinds of different accounts and stuff. Because I still sign up for lots of stuff, but just like you just said, I might be on all these sites, but really, which ones do I go to? I go to Facebook, to Reddit, to YouTube, and to Twitter, and that's really about it, I'll go to your site if I know you published something on the Plus Ultra side. I'll go to Alex Rivera if he shares it on Facebook. I won't ever just go organically and look for his site. If he shares a link, then I'll click on it. I go to I don't know if we just read an article. I don't know if you were watching the show before we called you, but we just read an article about all these bombs being sent out and how hoaxy and stupid it looks. And the guy's name is Russ Winter, and he used to be called the New Nationalist, but now it's called Winter Watch. And he's got some pretty good stuff. He's an older guy, and I've listened to interviews by him. But I go to his website, but still it's because he either posted on Twitter or he posted on Facebook, and I click through.
Yeah. Well, it was just a chance, really, that link came up for you, because there's probably a ton of links that didn't pop up for you, that just for whatever reason your feed didn't show you. And, it seems to me that the best way to get around the whole algorithm problem is just, if you're a fan of a certain thing, and they have a website, and they're able to make an app that will alert you on your phone when they have something new, then that should work theoretically. And so I've been trying to do this myself. I'm right now at the stage where I've got an app that's made, but it's not perfect. It's not the way I want, so I haven't released it yet. And I haven't been willing to really spend money, to get the companies like customer service to help me make the app better. So it's stuck there in that position, right? But basically, the other thing is like the customer has to be willing to, pass over their phone, because their phone is going to say, "Oh my God, no, you can't. That's an unauthorized app. You can't do that." And so you have to say, "Oh, you have to know exactly how to get into the settings of your phone and say, yes, it's okay. It's okay to do that, and tell it that you can in fact have that app, and then the app will tell you when the website that you care about put up something new."
Yeah, that's a great idea, Tracy. Especially if you made an app that did that for any websites that you loaded into it, so it just like an RSS feed app, that would just say, "Hey, Tracy posted something, Alex posted something, Russ Winter posted something." That would be awesome.
There's that. I'm sure there's stuff that does that. It's like if you were the consumer and you just wanted to have an app that would alert you to every website you care about, and when they put something new up, there's probably things that exist already that do that. And as far as, because a lot of us are, one of the things you're doing is putting up videos, and one of the first things you do would be to put up a YouTube version of it. I'm not sure that there's, I don't know. On the app that I had, I have it half designed, but this part of it it's not working yet. But it's it'll tell you when a certain channel puts up a new video, and it's actually, presuming it works, and it seems to have so far, that's better than trying to get notified from YouTube for channels that you're subscribed to, because YouTube will just choose happenstance, whatever it wants to show you. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with anything you want at all. Other than, okay, they're in the parameters of things you've subscribed to, but beyond that, if you've subscribed to 100 channels, or whatever that is, and I'm sure it's not random, I'm sure there's an agenda behind it, but you, as a consumer, you have no way of knowing what you're going to get. So if you have an app that's just giving you everything, my God, everything of the few channels or websites that you've selected, that is the original intent of subscribing to a channel, and that is better than any service that any of the major websites give you now, because all of them will just randomly, according to their own robots and whatever they choose that week, they have a meeting and they choose, okay, we want to push these ideas this week, or we want to prevent people from talking about this week, and they'll just filter stuff out. It has nothing to do with you whatsoever.
Yeah, because they choose what's trending, and what you said that's deeper than that is that it seems like they choose what's, I'm going to call it negative trending. What needs to be buried, right? What's the negative trend, and let's go make sure that we block that out. So like
Anti-Streisand effect.
Say again?
I said the anti-Streisand effect. Whatever is getting too much attention now that we need to.
Yeah, anti-Streisand effect. Yeah, exactly. The anti-Streisand effect.
The anti-Streisand effect.
That's good. So you wanna tell us a little bit about what you've been working on, or is it top secret?
It's been top secret. I'm almost close enough to publishing it now that I could probably open up about it a little bit. I just
all right.
I don't know. Anyway, it's about okay. So let's just say, what would be like the biggest corporate logo, the biggest corporate idea that you would think would represent the United States? Of all the logos and brands.
Google's the one that pops to mind.
All right.
Hold on.
Like
A torch? Some kind of a...
I think she's talking about... You're talking about a real corporate logo, right? Or are you saying fictitiously?
I'm saying historically, like, who's the ambassador of America?
Oh, Lady Liberty, for sure, right?
Yeah, all right. Well,
I mean, that's what Jim said.
One moment here. Look, okay, so momentarily, soon, tonight, early tomorrow morning, there's going to be portions of this material out. It's a new book. So I thought it was going to be an essay. It ended up becoming a book. And then, so I'm gonna put the text of the book on my website for the subscribers to the website. And then if they choose, they can also buy a printed version that I'll do shortly. But basically, I explored to the utmost an idea that occurred to me that was about, I really don't want to give it away until tomorrow morning, but it's basically, it ties together a whole bunch of things in American history that I think have a hidden connection, and the motif running throughout them all that clued me into this was a idea having to do with the surreptitious drugging of a person. The idea is it's about when you want to get one over on someone else and you slip something underneath their radar. When you put them in a state of altered consciousness in order to take advantage of them.
Right.
And how this is actually a significant part sometimes of certain types of ritual sacrifices that occur. And it has a particular spiritual meaning and a particular meaning in terms of mythology. And there's a reason why this is a stage in a ritual process of sacrifice, and you could even just say, assassinating or taking out someone who is an enemy of occult cabals, shall we say. And so I am analyzing the symbolism of this in terms of a corporate logo and a corporation, a brand that has become synonymous with the United States, with America, and also in terms of, amazingly, several high-profile murders that have occurred in the 20th century. And I show that the same type of symbolism runs throughout all of these things, and then I show how this same type of symbolism is now becoming prevalent in the type of music and other popular culture that is being promoted. And it seems to have a particular agenda. So that's as vague as I can be, I suppose, and still tell you something about what I have. I would have loved to have told you more. I just didn't get it all. Because what I wanted to do. See, how much longer are we we're live here?
Yeah, we're live here. I mean, we don't have a huge audience, but we'll stay on with you as long as you're still up to it and talk. We're having a great time. Just and we understand being vague. That makes me really excited and very curious to hear what you have. So, but that was a great teaser, Tracy.
Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, I want to run off a copy of this. I have a first half hour of a video version of this essay done mostly, but there's just a couple things that I would want to change, and then I need to, render it into a file type that I could put on the internet. So it'll probably be, tomorrow morning when I can do that, honestly. So I wasn't able to do that for the show tonight, but and you know how things are, so that I'm afraid if I tell any juicy detail in public now that someone will beat me to it by tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna have to, I'll put it out tomorrow, I promise.
Oh no, we're definitely super curious. So, and of course we, any of us that are true Tracy Twyman fans, we've become familiar with the. Here's Tracy. She's posting a lot. She's interacting. She's posting links. She's publishing interviews. She's publishing audio, and poof, she's gone. Is she even alive? Somebody private message Alex Rivera. Who knows where she is? And then
I don't mean to be so difficult. I'm sorry.
Oh no! I think I'm sure that well, if I hadn't been following you for so long, I think I would suspect that it's an act. But I do not believe for 1 second that it's an act. I think this is your real routine. That for some reason you have to go completely disconnect, go essentially underground, and then you come back and you've got all this stuff that's new, and it's not like anything else available anywhere that I've ever seen. So that makes me, makes me excited to think, because I don't even think I made it to the end of your squaring the compass essay, but I was reading it for days, and I was just enthralled by it. So that's what it makes me think of, something kind of a similar event, that you got something coming together from what's Tracy going to bring us down from Mount Analog this month?
Well, that's the effect that I hope it has. Yeah, I mean, I would. It's one of these things where, okay, there's so many strange types of research that I do, right? Like, a lot of it is so much instinct and intuition. So I will notice, this one started out as, I noticed that some words sounded the same. And I thought, I'll just research the etymology of those things. And that became the first half hour report. And then I thought, as I was editing that first half hour of a video report, I thought, you know, I really need to look up this other thing a little bit more.
Hold on,
And
just a
all of
second.
sudden I realized, whoa, the reason why these two words sound the same is because there's a whole history behind them. And it just, and then, regarding the corporate logo, then there's this person who was the owner of this corporation with the logo that had come up in my research. And I just thought, you know, I'll look up this person because I thought, I wonder if there's any possibility that this person's birthday, literally, okay, who else would think this, right? I mean, this is a crazy thing to think. I'm sitting here in my bed, I should be asleep, you know, at like 11 o'clock at night, and I'm thinking, I wonder if this person that owns this particular corporation was born on or around this particular saint feast day in the Catholic liturgical calendar, because that saint's iconography matches up with the iconography that I'm seeing in that person's corporation.
Wow.
And I looked it up, and that's when that person's birthday is, that exact day. I mean, which is, the odds of that are very slim.
The
So,
exact day?
things like this, yes.
Wow.
Things like this happen to me, and then I know I'm on the right track, and I have to pursue the. A lot of what I'm doing is, you know, following up on things that other people would ignore. They might think, oh, those words sound the same, or those things are similar, that reminds me of that, but then they would just ignore it. And me, I write down a little note about it, and sometimes it bothers me to the point where I become obsessed with having to figure out why those two things are connected. And then I will follow that thread until it, you know, opens up a can of worms, and that is what has happened here. So, I mean, I ended up coming up with another bit of facts that I'm almost concerned about, that it's dangerous to tell people about. But mostly these are cold cases. A lot of them are like things that were never solved, murders that were never solved. But they're unlikely to be people that really care anymore. So I'm probably not going to bring too much trouble on myself for reviewing this stuff. But yeah, I think that I've shed some new light on some old murders.
Oh, man.
And I don't know. We'll see. I mean, likely it's just going to be relegated to, you know, conspiracy theory and rumor, but I need to put, you know, what I have to say out there, because it should at least be part of the body of conspiracy theory and rumor on these subjects that exist.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now I'm stoked.
Yeah. So is this company like 100 years old? Like,
Say what now?
is this company like 100 years old or something? Like a
Yeah, about that. That's about right. Yeah, maybe 90.
90 years? Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other day, Jim and I got stuck. There was a box that a case of paper towels had come in.
Bounty, I think.
Bounty paper towels
Procter
had come in,
Gamble.
and the Procter and Gamble logo was on the bottom of the box, and it's like Old Man Moon. It's like a crescent moon, and they actually changed the logo at one point because they claimed it looked like it had 666 in the beard. And so we started down that thread for a minute, the Procter and Gamble logo.
Yeah, and they reverted back to their old logo that they changed in the 80s during the Satanic Panic.
Yeah, they changed it during the Satanic Panic, and then they brought it back and doctored it up a little bit. So
it's like a moon face, you know, like a crescent moon with some like 13 stars, I think.
yeah.
They said representing
Oh my
the
God.
colonies.
Yeah, I'll find the. There's like some pictures of it. I'll find it and just tag you on Twitter. Is your Twitter working okay?
Look, as far as I know, I mean, I don't know what I'm missing. I mean, I don't know what's even going on. You know, I assume because if I'm not getting as much mail as I used to last year, because I'm not talking to people as much as I was. But I don't know, because things go missing all the time too. So I don't even know.
Yeah,
It's sad, but
Jim and I
don't even
found
know
that.
what to do about this.
we found that even our text messages don't necessarily come through. Like that one time after I had lunch with you, the messages I sent you right after that, they didn't come through to you right, and so then I tried to share them with Jem, like to show him, like, hey, this isn't right. Look at this is some of that weird shit going on, and they didn't really come through to him right either. So they've got us glutted up all the time.
Some of them took a few days.
Yeah.
To come through.
Yeah, 3 days later, the first one finally comes through, and weird stuff like that. So.
So hey, I probably shouldn't say this on the air, but there's an idea I have about a technological solution to get around any kind of, censorship of the actual signal itself. Now, a person would have to want to tune into the signal, but if you want to just broadcast as like a video, a live video, I think there's a way of doing that. So I want to talk to you guys about that sometime. But I don't want to give our enemies the heads up on what we're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Sounds good.
Maybe we'll jump on a regular three-way phone call or something when we're not live on the internet. And because I definitely like the idea of three heads are better than one. To correlate different concepts of what we might do. Because some of us are out here that aren't going to just passively go along with the slow chiseling away of everything. There's some of us out here that are noticing, and we definitely we're not ready to give up. Even if it's just for the sake of entertainment and research, I'm not ready to just resign myself to being fed back into a corporate style media. I want to be able to look at everything,
I don't think you should give up on anything, because it sounds to me like the actual media is giving up on everything except being thugs and bullying people. So that means there's a dearth of actual media, which is what I'm finding. Like, when I can actually connect with an audience member, even though it's almost like they don't even mind if I'm not available for months at a time, or if I'm not responding to email. They're happy that there's someone producing something with any kind of interesting content, which is amazing considering that supposedly the internet was going to let everybody produce content across everybody else. But here we are with people not able to get their messages out, and people who have there's no market motivation to produce good content, and the audience doesn't know where to get anything. So I think that actually, not only should we not give up, but, everybody, not just in the alternative media. Look, there's all these people I could think who've been working for the regular media, and probably a lot of them are in career changes right now. And some of those people, if they're listening, I would say, think about this. For one thing, join forces when it's become available to people that are trying to get around the blockades that are happening now, and when you're doing that, tell us your secrets, what you know about what the plan is, because obviously there's something going on here. And it's not capitalism at all. It's not what the companies aren't looking for what the market wants. They don't care about that. Something else going on. So, if for one thing, there's got to be a lot of people that are looking for jobs in the media right now. There's got to be a lot of people that are looking for media content, and somehow we all have to find each other and come together on the common idea that, if nothing else, people should have access to content they want. Information should really exchange, and this seems to me like this is self-defeating. If the technology is there for regular, like, mildly creative and intelligent people to be able to put together reports about things that are real and things they're interested in, why isn't it happening more now than ever before? Why is there somehow all of a sudden a blockade in the information exchange? We've got to find a way around it. This is not natural. It's not normal. It's not the normal progress of human civilization. So
right,
we just got to get around it.
You know, I that just made me think of that book Snow Crash, because you mentioned that, and then I went and tried to find that book when I was on vacation, and I found a different book by that author. But then when I came back to town, I went and downloaded the audio on Audible and bought the book, and it seems even more accurate than Neuromancer, you know, which is another similar book. Like, my mind was blown, and it's really in depth. And I think you're really onto something, that they're trying to, like, they realize the cat's out of the bag. It's a whole nother can of worms. And so even though now is the time, it's the easiest that it's ever been to broadcast, to produce content, to be creative. I mean, Jem and I just took our phones and pushed go on the Hangout and went live on location downtown Walla Walla. Like, that's insane. We would have needed like 2 full camera crews to do that just 10 years ago, you know?
In a production studio.
And we would have needed a producer sitting there to make sure that it all came off. But so that's available, but people aren't doing it, you know? Like, you can go live anywhere at any time, and hardly anybody's really doing anything. And half the time when they are, they're not really producing anything either, you know? They're just like having a talk with their friend, or like
playing video games, or
doing their
something.
makeup on YouTube or something, you know. So I agree that we need to take the few of us that are motivated to take advantage of this opportunity, and we need to start to knock down the walls and go around the barricades and say, hey, we're going to keep searching, and we're going to start putting out content that's, you know, a lot higher quality and a lot more often, you know.
So speaking of Neuromancer, I started reading that recently, and I got within, I think, 20 pages of finishing. And I also watched Johnny Mnemonic, which was based on, I mean, I've seen it before, but this is the first time I've seen it after reading Neuromancer. So I just thought, what is this whole thing about the intelligent dolphin that is going to change the course of the human race here? Because that seems to be a theme that I've seen over and over again here. And you know what the intelligent dolphin? I mean, I don't know if it was in Neuromancer. It was in Johnny Mnemonic. You remember this?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, and I'll tell you a quick. That just made me think of something, Tracy. When I was at a magic shop in Scotland, in Edinburgh, Scotland, it's called the Weird Shop, spelled W-Y-R-D, like the Weird Sisters, you know, like they're kind of like the Muses, that spelling, and this guy had like a joke list of all the rules of the shop, and one of the things was specifically that no dolphins are allowed in the shop, and they are not ascended masters. So I know that this is like, it's like a joke, you know. And I saw a meme yesterday that was all about occult stuff, and at the end, you know, it's one of these memes that graduates where, you know, your brain is exploding with more and more light, and eventually you're like at the ultimate level, and that was the last level. Was like a smiling, glowing dolphin. So there's something to it for sure.
The sad thing in Johnny Mnemonic is this dolphin is needed to turn the tide against the criminals that are about to do this horrible thing, whatever it is. And the dolphin was going to decode some kind of password or something. The dolphin is in what looks like a, I would say, 6x3 tank that you would find small fish in a fish store.
Yeah.
And so I just, you know, they show like these badass renegade underground hackers in their underworld where they do their own stuff, and I really felt sorry for the dolphin. It's in a very, very small tank. And this has been saving the world, and I just thought it's way too much pressure to put on a dolphin.
That's funny. That did you just make me think of something else as an idea I had. Jim and I are actually secretly working on a book, a fiction book that's just going to be hilarious if we pull it off. But one of the ideas was to have like dolphins figure out how to use robotics and AI and everything to build themselves tanks that they could get into and roll out of the ocean and exist on land, and that they're like vying for position, you know, and they can come up and talk to you, and they're inside this big rolling tank of water, and they can communicate, and they're in there swimming around and like sending you signals and messages. I forgot all about that, but that's so apparently it's.
Well, why not? They just need the water, yeah. Sure. Now, okay, there's this video. This will be a head for you, and for the audience of what's going on. Okay. As part of my research, I tried to find this movie called The Day of the Dolphin, and I couldn't find it. So if you know how to find it, you just let me know, because it wasn't available to me. But it was supposed to be directed by Roman Polanski, but he was interrupted in the middle of it by wife being murdered, so someone else directed it. And the next one he directed after that was Macbeth. So, yeah, you know where to get Day of the Dolphin. I'm kind of curious. I want to see what ended up happening, because I know that there was a story about a dolphin that was working for American intelligence to defuse a bomb or something. I don't know. I didn't even see the movie.
Yeah, well, I'll look around and see if I can source it. I'll either try and plug it in somewhere on the internet where you can get it, and if not, we could always find a way to to send you a flash drive or something so you could have it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind paying either. It's just like I couldn't even see it available. And this is the thing. Like, there's been so many movies lately in the last 2 years where I look for it, and I mean, honestly, okay, the first thing I look at doing was put it up for free on YouTube, and usually no, or it's been taken down by the time I find it. And then the next thing is, okay, there's a torrent site that I'm on. Does anyone have it there? And usually these days, unless it's like a big cult classic or something that came out in the last 2 years, nobody's sharing it. Whereas 10 years ago, I could get the most rare, unimaginable things you've never even heard of off of the torrent sites, but now I can't find that anymore.
Yeah.
So,
A lot of the good torrent sites now are on
next time
invite.
next time we go to try to see if I can buy it. I mean, and usually I can't even buy it out. In fact, the way it's been, Sean, is like, if I can't find it for free, then odds are that I can't buy it either.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because that's true. I know people imagine that everything's been transferred over, but if you just go next time you're at a second-hand store, anyone that's listening to this, go look through the VHS tapes that are for sale at the Goodwill, and you'll see that hardly anything is being transposed, even from VHS to DVD, let alone onto digital content on the web. They've probably reduced the amount of available media by 50% at least.
They've buried it all deep in the memory hole.
Yeah, it's gone. It's Orwell to the max.
And yeah, so like a lot of times we'll find, okay, the video will have already been tagged on YouTube, so that if I tried to upload my copy of it, I could. But then you go to try to buy a copy of it, and you can't do that either. So it is exactly what you're describing. The memory holding it. At best, you can say to yourself, oh, well, they're trying to build up a audience for it later when they release it later, or they want to make people care more about content that they put on paid TV channels or something, So there's some rationale, at least. But I got some of this stuff is like, no, they're not going to put that on TV. That's too weird. No, they're just getting rid of it. And
yeah, they're just taking it away. Oh, Jim just reminded me. He wrote a note here so that I could see it. Earlier we were looking at somebody shared some George Orwell quote, and so Jim looked up the etymology of his name, and it means tilled, like tilling the ground.
George means
tilled, to till, and then Orwell means excessively well. So it's George Orwell literally means tilled overly well. So they've really, they've buried and buried and buried this shit. That's what it means, Is that crazy or what?
That is crazy. And yes, I'm not surprised. I mean, yeah, they, obviously, yeah, it never made any sense anyway that the media would be a business that makes profit, and I don't think it ever was that. I think it's always been programming.
Yeah.
It's always been a fight, really, over who's going to control that. So, really, you're not even fighting over the media companies so much as who's paying the media companies to produce the kind of content they produce. And how do you get, really, we don't even care about that so much as how do we get the attention of the public to pay attention to something else. And, I guess it's arrogant maybe of me to think that they would want to pay attention to something I'm saying, except that I get, I have an audience, right? Like, I get messages from people who want to hear what I have to say, and I get messages from people who say, oh, I've subscribed to you on YouTube, and they never tell me when you put something up. And that has an effect on me. Like, I'm sure it has a bigger effect probably on other people, where if they know that their message is being interfered with, or if they don't even know that, but they know they're not getting a response from their audience, then they're not inclined to produce any content,
Right. Because that's what, if you don't figure out at least a few of the tricks on Twitter, most people give up right away because you're just talking to yourself. No one likes it, no one shares it, no one comments. I'm like, well, what the hell are you doing? You're just talking to yourself.
Yeah, they've been doing this actually for years without ever getting into what any of the real problems were with social media. They're telling us that we're narcissists for wanting to talk to everybody that we know. And so everybody is ashamed of, this is the way I feel, like everybody's been shamed about how their instinct is to be social. And the fact that they're like, look at you pathetic losers. There you are, you're talking to people online, and you don't even have real social life. You don't go out and hang out with people, do you? You just talk to people online. And then you're like, okay, I won't talk to people online. And then you're not going to go out either, it's just, you just end up being cut off from that one thing that made it easier for you to talk to everybody.
Yeah, they cut you off first. They keep you overworked and over distracted, and then when you reach out through your smartphone or through your laptop, they're like, "Oh my God, you're completely self-centered. What are you doing?" And those aren't even, you don't even know if those are real people. And so it's just this like prevention of genuine interaction. They don't want us to just talk to each other.
Yes, exactly. The same message that they say is being perpetuated by social media, which is that everybody has some kind of exciting social life, and it makes everybody else feel inadequate somehow. Well, that's what they're saying with the news stories, is that your social life, which may largely involve communication on the internet, is not real and not adequate, so that's evidence of how you're a loser. You should go out and get a real life. And I don't know what they're talking about exactly, because, before the internet, your only option for getting a date or a friend, if you're an adult, is to hang out at a bar. Or, I guess, date someone at work, or you might get in trouble for doing that.
Yeah,
so,
or go to church, but then you have to get married and not date.
well, you'll find bigger creeps at church. Here's the thing, too, is it's not like anyone had anything against going to church. It got too weird, I think, because I noticed, because I'm from a family that was involved in, like, my grandfather was a preacher and editor of the, magazine, the church magazine and everything, and, like, that was a big part of their life, my mom's life, growing up. And it was like, until sometime in the 70s, everybody got turned off from that stuff. And I don't think it was just that everybody, went to the devil or something, or they didn't care about God anymore. I think it was just they were sick of the creeps at church, because this is still true, and it's more true now than ever, now that there's fewer people at church, that when you go to church, you're just going to find, like, half the people are there for some agenda. They're there to score a date, or they're there to try to get you to buy something from their, pyramid scheme that they work for. Or,
so true.
So, yeah, I've been to churches, recently, in the last few years of my life, and found that churches are crawling with this shit. So I don't know what people would do anymore. The point is just, I don't know what we're supposed to do to have a social life. What's wrong with the internet is finding people that have similar interests. And, it's true that it's not good to pigeonhole yourself, so you should have. This is what was a few years ago so great about Facebook, was you could have friends who shared your interests, and you could have friends that were just happenstance friends that you worked with or whatever. You could have family members, and you can have them all talk to each other. And it actually, I felt, broadened your perspective on life. And then they changed the algorithms so that you just wouldn't see all that stuff at the same time. And this is what it seemed to me, was just like they discouraged exactly what I was talking about with their algorithms.
Yeah, Facebook used to work.
They know more about what you want or something.
No, Facebook used to work really good, and they intentionally changed it, and now all we see is like crappy memes and inspirational quotes and 15-second video clips. But it used to be that like you actually saw what all of your first cousins were doing, and your grandparents were doing, and your friends from high school were doing, and you could private message any of them anytime, and it doesn't, they like threw a bunch of mud in the water so that it didn't work anymore.
Well, yeah, I used to, like 3 elections ago, I could, or 2 maybe, like I could comment on someone's post about Ron Paul, right, and then, my cousin or aunt or whatever would see what I posted about that, and maybe she would want to talk to me about it, or maybe not, but she would see it. And now it's like, that's going to be screened out for her, because they will have decided, based on things she said and done, that she doesn't want to see that stuff anymore, and they'll keep me from seeing her stuff, because they don't think that I want to see that stuff. And they know we're friends, and they know we're family and everything, but they just realize that we have different opinions, so therefore they're going to keep us apart. And, nobody asked for that, so that's the problem.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, you have to like go way out of your way to go look for stuff that you don't like and intentionally subscribe to it and follow it if you want to know what other people think,
Exactly. So, yeah, I guess what it is that, we all have to be more aggressive about trying to find things we like. Like, when we were teenagers, we had to go to the record store and dig through the records to find the ones we wanted, and that's the way it's going to have to be.
Yeah, and you can never remember what record you want to buy when you get there and the music's playing.
Well, my standard used to be a lot lower, too, so I don't know now what I want, but...
Ain't that the truth? We used to all go with the idea that we had money in our pocket, and damn it, we weren't going to listen to the shit we still had at home, so something's coming home with me.
Yeah. Never what you intended on buying. Always something awesome and new.
There used to be things that I would drop $20 or $50 on because, wow, I can't believe this is there. And now I might put it on my watch later list. Like, oh, okay, I'll see if I want to check that out later.
Oh, yeah.
So...
There's the oldest record store in the state of Washington is here in Walla Walla. And if you ever make it over this way, we will take you to a mecca. It's like you could sojourn to a real record store. It's called Hot Poop. There's an old guy named Jim McGuinn. He's got long red hair, like almost down to the middle of his back. And he's a total deadhead. And he's been running this record and / music store for years. It's the oldest one in the state. And we're friends with him because we go in there and buy stuff from him all the time. So if you ever make it to Walla Walla, we'll take you back to that nostalgic place where you can go and look at all the T-shirts, and it smells like Nog Champa incense, and there's old posters and old buttons and guitars and car stereos and drum sets and all that. All that shit's here.
Packed
So
to the ceiling with
yeah,
stuff.
it's got so much stuff that his wife actually made him get rid of a bunch of stuff because the fire marshal kept coming and shaking him down.
If there was a fire, people would die.
Yeah, you wouldn't get out of there if it would have caught on fire. So
it's pretty awesome, though.
Sounds good. All right.
Yeah, so we're definitely excited we look forward to, you know, whenever you publish, we'll be there. And what I'll do when this live stream's over, I can go to YouTube and clip out just this. So, you know, any of the delay or the stuff that we talked about before our interview just now or our conversation, I'll go clip that out and make it a new clip with the title specifically that it's you with your first hint of what your new stuff is going to be about, and I'll send it to you as a link so that you'll have it as an easy way to promote this conversation as you move forward from here.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's exciting.
Shall we, can we complete this interview?
Yeah, certainly. We can totally wrap this up, and we'll let you go. And then we'll finish up the last little bit of our show. And like I said, tomorrow or the next day, I'll have it clipped up so that it's not so rough. And that way you'll have it.
Okay.
Awesome. Hey, great talking to you. Thanks for fighting through the technical difficulties with us on this Full Moon Madness special. RX Only Picture Show number 25.
Thanks, Tracy.
Have a great night. We'll be in touch, Tracy.
You made it easy for me. I appreciate it.
All right, we'll be in touch.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow. And that's how you persevere against the technology, folks.
Yay! Good interview.
That's
SB.
one. No, thank you. You too, man. Thanks for helping me. Anybody that goes back and watches the video will get a laugh. Sean shaking his wrist.
I'm talking to Tracy. Oh, come on, arm, stay with me.
Yeah, that was exciting. I'm really curious what she's talking about now.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know what three people are still here hanging out with us, but gee whizzikers, that was that might turn out to be a really high watermark in the RX Only Picture Show brand.
Well, it's show 25, Sean.
Yeah, 25.
SB,
That
25.
equals 777. Me, you, and the show.
Oh yeah. You and the show. That's a pretty
Yeah, I
lucky
don't-
number, right?
I don't even know what to say. I guess this is oh, I've got us on memes over here. I need to bring us back.
The
to
memes
what
are
it
great.
says.
That was a good.
Yeah, I figured they
good
probably were
plan.
getting sick of staring at me holding my phone against a
Holding
microphone.
phone. I know.
The whole thing was really symbolic of exactly what she was talking about. Like, there's more opportunity to communicate and effectively produce content now than there's ever been, and everyone's doing it less than they ever have. Everyone's passively receiving and interacting in a strange way, but no one's like, sweet, we have a studio, we have a camera, we have an opportunity, let's record an album, let's make a show, let's make a documentary. Instead, they're like, tweet, 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 retweet, retweet, share. Breakthrough is a book I recently read that is based on dolphins. You might like it. Hey, nice.
Breakthrough,
Awesome.
huh?
Ryan Martin, welcome
Oh,
to the
nice.
comments section.
What's up, Ryan Martin?
We drove by and pointed at your swimming pool.
Oh, I saw where you live earlier today. On
yeah,
the way
yeah.
home from
Was
the
that
dump.
today? It was today.
It was
Yeah, we were on
today,
our
yeah.
way back from the dump. Just a public service announcement. There's one guy at the Walla Walla dump who's a total asshole, and I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to call him out live on the internet. Like, just a total dipshit. Like, you have to take your fluorescent lights there, and they'll only take 10 at a time. And last time we went, we had ballasts from the lights, and they took them. And the next time we come, he's like, you got to go pay $3 a pound to ship those off in a barrel. You can't be bringing them here. And he's all rude and looking at us weird and like, dude, last time you told us.
Creepy dude.
And then we took him to Batteries Plus. Hey, thanks, Batteries
Yeah,
Plus, if
Batteries
the algorithm's
Plus.
listening.
Good work.
The Batteries Plus guy was awesome, and he took all of the ballasts and the rest of our fluorescent lights for nothing. So if
Yeah.
you have ballasts or fluorescent lights,
Hazardous materials.
takes 10 at a time for fluorescent lights if you need to get rid of them. But the ballasts, the guy just took them all. You know, a
Yeah.
whole bunch of lights. And yeah, Ryan Martin, he says Breakthrough is a book about dolphins, and that it's a pretty good book, or it's an okay book.
It's an okay book.
Ryan recommended Off to Be the Wizard to me, And me and my girl are almost to the very end of the audio of the second book called An Unwelcome Quest. We're so close to the end. Fucking Todd. But yeah, those are great recommendations.
Quest?
An Unwelcome Quest, yeah. But if you're going to do it, start with Off to See the Wizard. It's pretty lighthearted and kitschy, but really good. And it's all about a guy who discovers that he's in a simulation, and he finds the source code of how to manipulate the situation.
Oh, the man behind the curtain.
Yeah. It's really good.
Interesting.
But yeah, Tracy Twyman, woohoo! That was fun,
that was a great
crazy.
Interview.
Yeah, it came
sort
off
of
good.
Conversation, yeah.
It was not easy. We tried Hangouts, it didn't work. We tried to download Skype. Tracy and I both could not log on to Skype.
Yeah, what was
finally,
up with
we
that?
went old-fashioned and just called each other. Crazy, I know, right?
It was almost analog.
Yeah.
It was IRL conversation. Yeah. Well, I guess maybe not.
Year Zero, there's another book recommendation. I'm getting the feeling that Ryan and I are doing similar things while we're working. We're listening to audio. Well, I'll give you a strange recommendation, man. I'm listening to a book called Nino and Me, which is the editor of Black's Law Dictionary, telling the story of his friend with Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia. And it is an amazing book. It seems like it would be really dry legal language and BS, but it's all these little stories of how these guys got together and how they figured out how to write books together despite their busy schedules, and all these quirky stories about like the judge falling down in the street and his elbow hurting, and like, you know, all the federal marshals trying to keep him protected while they do all this stuff. So that's a good book too. The man was trying to keep you down. As paranoid as that sounds, Ryan, I wonder if they haven't assigned the robots to keep us all down.
Well, yeah, it's pretty easy for a robot to keep us down.
Yeah.
They can think circles around us.
Skynet.
Skynet!
All right, well, this is
I'll be back.
This is gonna have to turn into Jim's quick joke section because all of
we,
a sudden I got to fart really bad.
Oh no! Whoa!
Be right back.
Whoa! Take it easy, man.
Oh, that was a little. Well, it's the last hour.
All right. Well, we're gonna look up some jokes here on the joke internets. We're gonna get off color and look up some fart jokes. So there's some fart jokes. Let's see here. What do you call a person that doesn't fart in public? A private tutor. That was a good one. What's more fun than a Canadian microwave? Dun dun dun. A Dutch oven. What is the definition of bravery? A man with diarrhea chancing a fart. That's pretty brave. Pretty bad joke. Why don't farts graduate from high school? Because they always end up getting expelled. Oh, that was terrible. That joke stinks. What is the difference between Mozart and Mr. Methane? One is music to your ear, the other is music from his rear. Rim shot, ba-dum-bum, psh. That was pretty bad. What is the definition of bravery? No, I already read that one. Let's see. Why do farts smell? The answer for that joke is farts smell for the benefit of everyone that's hearing impaired. Why do horses like to fart when they buck? Because they can't achieve full horsepower without gas. Why don't you fart in church? Because you have to sit in your pew. What do you call a dinosaur fart? A blast from the past. I'm gonna curtail this. What did Britney Spears say after she let one rip? Oops, I sharted again. Alright, maybe one more. Why do cherry trees stink? Because George Washington cut one. Oh.
That was a brave man situation right there. I was wrong. That was a great transition.
You're welcome.
Massive props on your transition right there. That was great.
What is it called when the Queen of England farts? A noble gas. That is a noble gas. What does it mean to cupcake someone? Fart in your hand and put your hand in someone's face? Oh, that's disgusting.
Oh goodness.
I think
That's how really serious fistfights start. I know some jockey type sports guys that they'll fart in a cup and then go hand it to their friend and be like, smell this.
it's the gift that keeps on giving.
No,
That's terrible.
That's a hard poke in the eye.
That is a hard poke in the eye. Or it's a black eye waiting to happen.
Yeah, you're not
Punch.
You're not funny. And Ryan Martin says, and vacuum our floors. He must be talking about the robots. The robots are spying on us and keeping us down, and they're trying to vacuum our floors.
They're trying to vacuum our floors. Do you want a caffeine beverage or?
Ooh, I don't know. I already drank 2. I was
Probably
thinking,
be up all night if you.
Yeah, I was thinking to go grab one more drink of this right here.
If you don't mind.
Oh yeah, you're gonna.
Carry on without me one more time?
Do you think the people want more fart jokes?
No, I don't know, man.
Or should we go?
Look up archery jokes. I dare you. Oh yeah.
Archery jokes.
Oh, your fish looks so nice, Jim.
Archery jokes.
Fish can.
Bow and arrow jokes. What did the lustful maiden say to the handsome archer? You make me quiver. Let's see. What do real archers say to compound archers? I see you still have your training wheels on your bow. That's a good one. What do you call a professional archer without a girlfriend? Homeless. So I guess archers are just like drummers there. Did you hear about the blonde who shot an arrow into the air? She missed. What kind of bow can't be tied? What kind of bow can't be tied? A crossbow. That's pretty funny. What did the archer make out of his bow? A bow tie. That was kind of lame. What did the archer say when he hit a bull? I got a bullseye. That was terrible. Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. I like that one. Everyone knows that bow ties went out of style years ago. Let's see, archery contest. Once upon a time, there was an archery contest. The first archer, wearing a long cape covering his face, lines up in position. He takes a deep breath and fires an arrow, which finds the center of the target. Then he takes off his cape and screams, I am Robin Hood! The crowd cheers. The second archer, with a cape, lines up in position. He fires his arrow, which hits the center and cuts Robin Hood's arrow in two. He takes off his cape and screams, I am William Tell! The crowd cheers. Finally, a third man in a cape lines up in position. He fires his arrow, but it goes all wrong. It flies past the crowd and kills the king. Then the man takes off his cape and screams, "I am sorry!"
Those are good. And the hinge, the door is unhinged and will not close.
Oh yeah, it broke the door. Remember full moon?
Yeah.
These are,
Oh, look at this.
I can hear it
I
upstairs.
discovered
huh?
our problem. Here's our problem.
Oh shoot!
We've been at intermission.
Our tradition
this
is
whole time.
gone. Well, it's not gone. It's just we unheated our.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're gonna make an
You're gonna-
exception.
Yeah, put that thing back together.
No, we're gonna make an exception this week only. And we're
Show
gonna have-
show the audience. So we have two signs here.
I guess we need to let him know that this is more than just us.
It's our tradition that we
So-
do here.
Jim brought us these ritual items. So anytime we are not broadcasting, it's intermission.
Intermission. Go get your snacks.
And anytime we are broadcasting, just prior to broadcast, during the sound check and the memes, we are on the air.
On the air.
And until just this moment, I just realized this whole time
We always
we've been
change
at
it.
intermission. So maybe we should.
Whenever we start the show, we change
maybe
it.
for the full moon, we better hang them both up there, huh?
It's not obvious, maybe, but it's sort of an important part of the show.
I think anytime that we know for sure it's a full moon, from now on we have to hang both.
All right, hanging both.
Hang both, only on the full moon.
At the end of the show, we always switch it back to intermission and unplug our cameras and the microphone just so
Yeah, that way Zuckerturd can't see us.
when Zuckerturd,
We could do it like this and then turn them around.
we could.
Change the tradition.
Do you know traditions were made to be changed?
Change. Should we risk some karaoke this week?
Chain of stools. Or fools.
Should we risk some karaoke
Should
this
we risk
week?
some karaoke this week?
But nobody's music. It has to be real karaoke.
Yeah.
Because I think we could. 9:35. Maybe we should
We
close
got some
out.
time.
Close out with some karaoke.
Yeah, it might be a good idea. What should we sing? Anybody have any requests? Karaoke requests?
We've got 4 people watching. We gotta figure out how to ramp these numbers up. I have to start paying some YouTube accounts to shamelessly promote our work.
We could shamelessly clickbait the titles. Is there?
We could drop $100 on Andy Worski and he'd say, "Oh my God, SPLs are a Jim."
You know, that's a good idea. Do we need to drop $100 or would he do it for 5?
No, he'd do it for 5, but then he'd read it like this. Oh yeah, this SBI
Really,
for
right.
5 was I got a mouthful of marbles and I stutter sometimes. Oh, if you guys don't know, if you don't follow the Andy Worski stuff, apparently Andy Worski and Tonka Saw of the Kumite are this upcoming January going to get in a physical altercation. They are going to be sanctioned to have an actual boxing match. These former close friends are so angry with one another that now they're going to fight.
You know, there's a conspiracy I was thinking about, maybe talking about.
Okay.
The video I saw is it was about Kavanaugh being his accuser of sexual misconduct in drag.
All right.
And it looks like the guy. I'm gonna check out. I think it was the Morgile. There's a video by the Morgile that is pretty.
You want me to pop that up?
Pop up the Morgile and we'll check that out.
And then I'll close us out with a secret surprise karaoke song.
Ooh.
I got some.
Nice secret surprise karaoke.
Okay, so we need to
Check out the Morgile here.
We need to switch these to shared commentary. We need a fish tank cam. Now that your fish tank's so nice,
Yeah, I agree.
we gotta get a fish tank cam.
Fish tank cam, that would be great. Maybe an intermission fish tank cam.
Yeah, that's way better than the
break time. We could put the fish tank cam on and then play cammed audios
my
of people
gosh, dude.
urinating.
I just said that. I just had the most hilarious idea ever.
What's that?
We could get a monitor and put it behind the fish tank and show the memes and have the cam shoot through the tank. So
Oh,
the
that's a
memes are
great
still
idea.
there.
That's a great idea. We could put the fish tank on wheels.
Yeah, and bring it out here. That's true. Like the
Bring it out.
dolphins.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Bum, bum, bum.
I've got a dolphin meme in mind with a fish tank. I shouldn't spoil it, but it's a good idea.
Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh.
All right, so here's what Jam is talking about. Is Kavanaugh really Christine Ford?
Let me see those videos. Maybe, yeah.
Let's take
I
a
think
look.
the top one
Top
probably
one,
is
right?
it. There's a Finkel, Brett Finkel Kavanaugh. That's a longer one. You don't need to watch it.
Let's see, let's make sure. Oh, we're going to have to get the audio.
Audio.
Let's hold up right there. Hey, guys. I said
Look-alike. Let's see here. Turn up the volumes.
Pump up the volume, pump up the
Pump up
volume,
the
pump up the volume. Kavanaugh. Ready, set. Is Kavanaugh really Christine Ford? Let's follow along with the Morgile.
Oh, the Morgile.
Morgile's a flat earther.
There are millions of victims and survivors out there who've been inspired by your courage. I am. Bravery is contagious. Indeed, that's the driving force behind the Me Too movement. And you sharing your story is going to have a lasting, positive impact on so many survivors in our country. We owe you a debt of gratitude for that, Doctor. Now, some senators have suggested you were simply mixed up about who assaulted you. An ally of Judge Kavanaugh in the White House even promoted a wild theory about a Kavanaugh lookalike.
This is the most unethical sham since I've been in politics.
A wild theory
Nice.
about a Kavanaugh lookalike. You immediately rejected that theory, as did the innocent man who had been called that lookalike.
What up, guys? John the Morgile here. Going to do a video regarding the new potential Supreme Court Justice, Brett Kavanaugh, and this whole debacle with Christine Blasey Ford.
Yeah.
And the big question is Christine Ford actually Brett Kavanaugh?
Sorry, I gotta stop it because I just had an idea for you.
For me?
Yes, for you.
You got an idea for me?
Yeah, and you'd have to do it.
Oh, what?
You'd have to do it sooner than later
What is that?
to sculpt that divided face.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Half Kavanaugh, half Blasey Ford. Make it into bronze and put it up for sale.
Give
Yeah,
me
I know.
the willies,
I know,
man.
it would hurt. It's essentially pulling a coons is what we call that. But yeah, and get that
Dropping
get
a
that
coons.
get that secret nickel patina if you know what I'm saying. Make it
Yeah.
shiny.
Yeah.
All right.
And I watched a video by the channel formerly called Mr. E that was shut down in the YouTube purge and is now operating under Transpocalypse Now. Great channel.
Whoa.
I'll put a link to this video that brought this to my attention because, as many of you guys may know, the first YouTube video I ever put out a long time ago was the Osama bin Laden video, where, at least for one televised
emptiness.
appearance, Osama bin Laden was almost certainly played by Barack Obama prior to him becoming president. And it
does
really
line
seems
up.
like
Look
these
at that.
elites
Yep.
do
Pretty
these whole
interesting.
role reversals and charade
Ryan, we can't
for
play God of
some
Emptiness. I'm sorry.
reason, whether it's just to confuse people or some weird subliminal in-depth programming, but we're not going to get into all that. We're just going to look at this hypothesis that perhaps Finkel is indeed Einhorn, or Christine Blasey Ford is potentially Brett Kavanaugh. So, in this first image, really the only thing, these are from the same hearing where Kavanaugh was completely missing during Ford's testimony, and Ford was completely missing during Kavanaugh's testimony about her allegations that he did some naughty things while he was in high school and she was attending the same high school with him. Now, the only thing I had to do to this picture is scale them to size proportionally, so they're about the same size, and then tilt Kavanaugh's picture just a few degrees clockwise. And scarily enough, I gotta say, this is almost an exact match. And based on my preliminary investigation, I would say, hands down, it is entirely possible that Finkel is Einhorn, Kavanaugh is Blasey Ford. Now you'll notice she is wearing some pretty thick glasses, so pay attention to the line of her face. As it gets behind the lens of her glass, you see some magnification and refraction. So what that means is any area behind this lens is going to be disproportionately magnified. And so with that in mind, it was pretty much impossible to match up their faces perfectly without the eyes being off kilter. Although that is exactly what you would expect when one of the people is wearing no glasses, and then the other instance of the same person is wearing thick bottle-top glasses. So in that respect, it was not possible to match up their eyes, which is usually the best way to get the faces to perfect scale, assuming that it is the same person. If you can match up the eyes, the rest of the face will fall together very nicely. So in this instance, we didn't have that luxury. And it does appear that because of the angle and these lenses, you do get magnification and then sort of a downward refraction of the light. So everything behind these lenses is magnified and dropped down a little bit. So with that in mind, it does make a lot of sense that their eyes don't match up in these pictures. However, every other portion of their face certainly does. And that goes for their hands and their ears as well. The only real discrepancy I could find was in their teeth, although things can be done to change someone's teeth, especially if they've got false teeth that they can insert and have a couple of different sets of that for their disguise. And this really is a good disguise because Blasey has the thick bottle top glasses, she has the hair covering most of her face, but I gotta tell you, right down to the damn chin dimple, and right down to their nostrils lining up precisely, this appears to be one and the same person. So let's look a little closer at this chin dimple that is on both Kavanaugh and Ford's face. Just identical chin dimple there. The nostrils, we'll see if we can zoom in a little more on the nostrils. Line up precisely. And perhaps a little bit of a different angle on the faces, but just look how, when you redraw his nose over hers, although there are some differences in the nose because apparently she's got some sort of a prosthetics, if you will. Maybe there's a better term than that, but this is just absolutely uncanny.
He went to Yale. It's probably a
They do have different facial expressions, so he's got his lips puckered up, and she's got hers, or his more relaxed. In the neck area, you can see that she's got more wrinkles and such than Kavanaugh, but yet again, that can be easily rectified with makeup and these sort of oil prosthetics that makeup artists have been using since, Michael Jackson's Thriller to create zombies out of normal people. But just every inch of this person's face that isn't behind these bottle-top glasses just screams doppelganger. Of course, her hair is covering up a lot of these facial.
So in the Family Guy, there was this gag where in order to get into the Supreme Court, you had to pick up an egg with your butt cheeks and carry it across the room. It was a gag about the
Really?
Yeah.
So there's an actual episode of the Family Guy claiming that a ritual, like their gag is that there's a ritual to get in the Supreme Court.
Yeah, it was like, oh, you're in the Supreme Court. Yeah.
That implies that there really is a ritual.
Pick up an egg with your butt cheeks and carry it, across the room. I don't know if it was a Family Guy. I'm pretty sure it was. It was either that or American Dad, but I'm pretty sure it was Family Guy.
American Dad, I hate that show. Ugh.
And it was just like a 30-second clip, like ha ha ha, it was when they had the woman, what was her name? It was right when in real life there was a woman being initiated into the.
Yeah, it wasn't Ruth Bader Ginsburg, it's that younger lady, right? Frodo, what's the matter?
Frodo.
The door's
Come
off
here.
the hinge, man, so I don't know what to do about that.
Well, the dog coming down. Anyway, yeah, and you know, there's a lot of stuff in The Family Guy and
The
The
Simpsons,
Simpsons, the sort of predictive programming.
Rick and
about
Morty.
Rick and Morty, yeah. They
There's
drop
like some flat Earth dome style pizza map flat Earth symbolism in Rick and Morty.
Yeah, also Rick and Morty, they have like 9/11 was an inside job stuff too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on Pickle Rick, the Pickle Rick episode.
I've only ever seen memes of Pickle Rick. I've never watched it. I don't really like Rick and Morty. I can't stand that Rick is always has throw up on his face, and I just can't look at it.
Yeah, it's kind of gross. It's
so
sort
gross.
of
Marty, blah, blah, like,
Yeah.
It just makes me sick.
it's an imaginative show, I guess. But maybe it's not. It's more programming.
Yeah, what Tracy said. I was gonna say something about the fact that she mentioned that she thought media was always programming and that it was never profitable. And if you go back to that Augustin Barruel, remember I told you
Augustin Barruel.
that's the first conspiracy book about the Jacobin conspiracy to bring the Enlightenment against the church.
In France?
Yeah,
Like
he was
1800s or something?
no farther back than that.
Like before the French
1600s?
Revolution?
Yeah, middle 1600s, I think.
Oh, wow.
And that's where all global conspiracy theories come from, is from Augustin Barruel's work. And back then he was saying that all of the little pamphlets and small magazine type newspapers, the little pamphlets that you would get, that it was never intended to be published to be purchased, that people were underwriting it so that they could get thoughts into people's heads and so that they could position their people closer to people in power. So
It's
that
quite literally spelling.
yeah.
Spells.
Yeah, exactly. Get your grimoire under their nose and enchant them with your spell, and then bring about the Enlightenment. Take the crowns off the heads of the kings and the power out of the hands of the clergy, and bring what we have now. That's the theory. So
Well, there's a reason why they call the TV shows that they have on television programming.
yeah,
Programs.
because you're being programmed by
They're
your
programming your brain. To
Your mama's
think
so
and believe.
stupid she used to sit on the TV and watch the couch. Actually, that would mean that your mom's highly intelligent.
Hey, she's smarter than us.
Yeah.
We used to watch the TV from the couch.
That'd be a good illustration, like a mom like sitting on the TV with a wine glass and a cigarette,
Yeah.
staring at the couch like what?
One of those things that they hold the cigarette in.
Yeah, cigarette holder.
Cigarette holder, is that what they're called? Yeah. Should we
So you want me to sing you a little bit of a song? I don't want to sing the whole thing, but I have an idea for an outro here for this episode. Cause
you want to finish the video, or do you
Yeah,
wanna...
we can. I want to see more because there's not much.
Yeah, it's
left.
pretty interesting.
Features, but every instance of this face
Watch his chin.
is an absolute match. Except, of course, the eyes that are behind these bottle top glasses.
Yeah,
But
but
this
so-
is just absolutely uncanny. And so, why would they put a potential Supreme Court justice nominee through this sort of humiliation ritual? And to me, it's clear. It's so that they can control him. If this person is ever elected or verified as a Supreme Court, not elected, but verified as a Supreme Court justice, if he ever steps outside of what they, whomever they are, want him to do, then he could, it's never going to happen because it would be revealed that he was actually his accuser, Christine Ford. Or at least he played her on TV. Now, during this same hearing, they raised their hands to swear in, and I gotta tell you, this is the same hand. So the one on the left is hers, I believe, or is that his? Maybe that's his. The one on the right is hers. Let me make sure here.
They look real similar. I don't know if they're
No, I was
exact
wrong.
match.
Okay, so the one on the right's his,
Palm reader
the one on the left is hers.
Yeah, that'd be...
Now, starting with the left pinky,
It's like you're holding them on purpose.
just look, I
differently.
took this pinky and copied and pasted over here.
And they changed the lighting.
Look at the line of the finger
Yeah.
on his and compare that with hers. Now, of course, he's got his fingers spread out, but for crying out loud, these are the same fingers.
You can put makeup on a hand.
The same fingers, no doubt
Absolutely.
about it. Same thumb, same fingers. Even if you start looking closely into the little lines on their hands, they have similar traits.
And if you press your hands,
And again, he has
really
his
hard on the
fingers spread
table,
out and his
they'll look red when you hold them
hand
up.
angled back
Yeah,
a
spots
bit.
where you press.
Hers is more
The blood rushes
perpendicular
back.
to the ground, and the fingers are tightly clenched together.
You
But I got to tell you, their fingers are identical. Their faces are identical, and you can literally complete her nostrils with his nostrils. What are the odds of that? What are the odds that an accuser and the
both have the
accused have
same
the
neck
identical
wall.
face? What are the odds that Barack Obama and Osama bin Laden, at least in one picture, had the identical face? So in this image here, I scaled the eyes up independently without respect to the face. So I matched the sizes of the eyes. Because again, remember, these eyes are being magnified. And it is, yet again, uncanny. The eyes are perfect matches. Again, the lighting was a bit different for each, but identical.
They look the
And
same.
on this right
Scale
eye,
up.
their left eye, our right, even features of the eye and the iris
That's crazy.
appear very
Yeah.
similar. So in the overlay, this is Kavanaugh's
It's high
eye in the
resolution
overlay that we're
for
looking at here.
TV.
Very, very similar iris and retina on a face that is structurally identical. Of course, her nose is a bit fatter, and she's got her ears and half of her face covered up with hair and glasses. But other than these minor differences, this is very well could be the same person. One of them in drag, and one of them presenting themselves as a male candidate for Supreme Court Justice.
Trippy.
Yeah, it's pretty weird, huh?
So, like, share, subscribe, or do. And, of course, comment on what you think of this. You know, comment right now and tell us what you think of this. What do you think?
The other thing, too, to look
Oh,
at
the
real
ears
quick
really?
is their
No.
ears appear to be very similar. Her ear is hidden much by her hair, but what you can see appears that they have
Yeah.
identical ears, and the lines of his ear seem to match up with and
that
complete
one's
the
probably
lines
on
of
there
hers,
for-
and vice
I think I've got a
versa.
secret surprise song. Well, we'll keep these
So I'm
requests,
not
though,
saying
'cause
this
the video's a
proves that
good
they're the
song.
same
The video.
person, although it certainly doesn't hurt the hypothesis. We will take a look at the teeth because, as I said, this was really the only
The teeth
portion
are
of the
different.
face that I could not
You could computer that.
rectify, couldn't match them up.
Oh, yeah,
As
they-
you can see,
they
the
can
angle
totally
of
give
her
them an
teeth,
insert or
these two
a
front
grill.
teeth have an angle coming into one another, where his
Hey,
are
little Wayne Carter could have
relatively
brought you
flat
grill.
and
Hey.
straight. Her bottom teeth are crooked,
And
while his bottom
his lips
teeth
were always
are
down.
straight.
Like that. And hers are always smiled
And
up.
so
Yeah, they've got
this is really the
prostheses
only
that
piece
you
of
put
evidence
inside
to
your mouth
suggest that
change
it may
that kind
not
of
be the
stuff.
same person. Although, if he had his teeth pulled and is able to insert different sets of dentures or false teeth, then that could very easily be rectified. All in all, I would say that there very well may be something to this, and I would not be surprised whatsoever to learn that Brett Kavanaugh is in fact his Me Too accuser, Christine Blasey Ford.
Pretty interesting, huh?
That's crazy. That's
Hey.
just crazy.
What if
All
it
right.
really was like that and they made you go up there and humiliate yourself?
Oh, I think it's very possible that that's a reality. because
nobody's gonna think that you would.
no,
do
that's
that,
what
you
that's
know?
how you have to play it, right? Like you have to pull it off on the grand stage.
Yeah.
And the senator knows, and so he's like, "This is the biggest unethical farce I've ever seen in my life," because he knows
Because he
he's
knows.
talking to the same guy.
Yeah. You think he's against it?
No, I think he's playing his role.
He's playing his role. They all
Yeah.
have to pay the piper to get up there.
Yeah, he's playing his role. You don't just have to sling the mud; you have to eat shit.
Yeah. Quite
Come
literally,
blood.
I guess. That's what they do.
All right, here's my idea.
Let's see. Let's see what you guys think of this. I've had this idea for a long time, so. So this might be a rough take. But we're gonna move out this way. I got a little surprise for everybody. Even Jem doesn't know what I'm about to do. Let's make sure this is gonna pop up on the screen here. All right, this is dedicated to our recent special guest in honor of her new thing she's got coming out.
Nice.
A little bit of improvisational adaptation here.
I like that.
I have to improvise words, so throw words out to me if I'm stumbling.
All right, I got it. I see you.
Tracy Twyman, what went on in your head? Oh, Tracy Twyman, did you lose your planchette? The memes onto you seem so magic, or you're viewing them all. You fooled all the people with basement. You waited on Pepe's call. Tracy Twyman, did you think you were pure? Oh, Tracy Twyman, it's like syrup, of course. Uncovering things that were sacred, magic best only served. Conceived in the eye of a secret, and discarded the aftermath. Yeah! Just so you guys know, the reason there's no guitar solos here is because this guitar player is one of the best that ever lived in heavy metal genre, so yeah. Tracy Twyman, would you ride my white horse? I'm trying to think of some lyrics here. Oh, Tracy Twyman, it's me magic, of course. Approaching your brows are fantastic, but the links are 404. Can't think of anything else. It's drastic. Standing with their backs to the wall. Yeah! And if you live in good shape, I wanna know what you meant. I wanna know what you meant, yeah! Oh, it was polemically sent. Interesting. It was a polemic.
limit.
I never knew that lyric till just now. So let's just call that a show, Jim. Tell everybody okay, bye.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Thanks, Tracy. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Thank you.
Good show.
Good show. We'll see you
Good
next
show.
week.
See you next week.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.